Hello there, very good morning to you. I'm Debbie Shaw and you're watching Sewing Street. For the next 3 hours we're here live and we've got fabrics, we've got books, we've got tools, and the final hour we're going to be showing you the Air Thread Overlocker. But thank you for joining us so early in the morning. We've got a treat for you because at 8 o'clock every morning we bring you a reduced price item. So this is our early bird. For those of you that are up nice and early, we take the price down for as long as we have the stock. So the last couple of days that I've been in, certainly we've been selling out ever so quickly. So idea is you get this in your basket, you buy, you go through to checkout, and then anything else that you order throughout the course of the whole day, we're not going to charge you any more postage for. But look at what you've got here. This is a fantastic stash builder because you've got 1.5 meters of fabric. It's a really nice weight. Normally with reduced price anything, you're a little bit worried about quality. Not the case here. It's a really good weight. And it's a really rich colour as well. Now it's £10.96. Remember, saving at the moment, sorry, there's 2 meters, not 1.5, even better. So 2 meters of fabric for £10.96, saving £3 off the usual while we have the stock. But this is going to be something that maybe breaks up your patterned fabric. Oh, is that a bit of Moda? It certainly is. Makes your more expensive fabric go even further. It could be binding, it could be sashing, it could be borders, it could be homewares. This may be the back of a cushion cover. It's a nice heavy fabric for a lining. Actually, bag lining would be perfect for this one. So that's how much you're getting. And it's a really, I think some colours look expensive, don't they? And I think this is one of those expensive looking colours. But it's just really rich. I think you're going to find it very useful. So what have you got in mind? So your lining curtains. Now they will come pre-cut. So if you order 2, you'll get 2 pieces. They won't come joined up for this one. But 2 meters would make a sizable lining for a curtain. Join them together width-wise. Maybe it's tablecloths, bed linen, pillowcases, or you just think, actually, I know a bargain when I see one. So I'm just going to get hold of that and save it for just in case. Never have enough fabric, can you? So 2 meters again, 100% cotton. Good weight on this one. Quite impressed with that. For just £10.96 while we have the stock. Now postage there, you can see it says £3.95 all day. So just to reiterate, if you're new to us this morning, oh hello and welcome along. We're here every day for 3 hours live every morning. We're the only dedicated UK's sewing shopping channel, and we bring you such a wide variety of different tools and machines and fabrics and everything that you're going to need. But we only charge you 1 postage for the whole day. So if you check out your baskets, if you're ordering on the website, which is sewingstreet.com, or if you're ordering on the phone lines, which is 0800 001 4433, and you go through and complete your order. So you pay for everything, you pay for your postage, and then you come back later on and you think, oh, do you know, I needed a packet of pins, I needed a needle, I needed something, well, it's only £2.99. There's no point in paying an extra postage. We don't charge you any extra postage. So that's the same with the sewing machine as well. You can order the heaviest of sewing machines and we won't charge you any extra for the postage. I don't think Sewing Street actually realised how much it costs to post a sewing machine. But I'm not going to let on at all. Oh gosh, lots of you out there this morning, and we've got less than 20 of these remaining now. Gosh, that is going quickly. Well done you. You can multi-order if you like. If you've got a big project in mind and you wanted to go for 20 of them, you better be quick because it's counting down, but that really is going to go. Now, if you have any questions or anything, or you'd like to get in touch this morning, it would be nice to hear from you via our Facebook page, if you don't mind. So if you go to Sewing Street TV, go to the visitor post bit, and then you can drop us a message and I can pick it up here in the studio. So if you've got any questions, if you've got any comments, love to know what you're up to in these strange and weird times as well. Is sewing a new hobby for you? Or is it something that you've been meaning to do for a long, long time? You think, now I've got time on my hands, I am going to learn a new technique. Come and let me know. Great time to finish off your UFOs, isn't it? And maybe all of those repairs in the wardrobe. Getting the school uniforms all ready for when they eventually go back again. You'd have to let the trousers and skirts down a bit, I think. I think it might be a while. There you go. Let's take a look at a new feature that we have on our website as well. So if you go to sewingstreet.com, You will see Jewellery Maker at the top because we're piggybacking off the back of Jewellery Maker's website at the moment while ours is being built. So that's what it looks like. So don't think, oh, no, I've gone to the wrong site. You haven't. We're there, look. So you'll see a live video there, so you can watch it if you like. And then it says Shop Our Catalogue. So when you click on here, you can take a look at all of the different chapters, whether it's panels, planes, pattern fabric, tools, books, sewing machines, projects, and that's going to be, actually it's really pretty, isn't it? That's very well designed, I think. Shall we take a look at the machines? So we've got sewing machines and overlockers, and of course bits and bobs that you need to go with them as well. Oh, I didn't know that one was on there already. Oh, that's the overlocker that we've got coming up later on. So you can see we have some nice big brands of sewing machines. We have Juki, we have Elna. Fabulous. So I was just doing a little bit of mental shopping there. Now have a look around. And again, we're live for 3 hours. We shall be with you until 1 o'clock today, but even if you come back to the website later on this afternoon and just order that packet of pins, then we're not going to charge any extra for the postage. I teased you earlier on with our Moda, did I not? We've got new fabrics for you. Oh, you found it already? Well, I hope we've got some left because I haven't even shown you yet. Let's take a look at these bundles. Now we've got 3 bundles that we put together for you. So if you're quilting, these are just going to match perfectly. Or you can buy them individually. So if you can't wait for me to have a flick through all of these, then take a look on our website to go into the pattern fabrics bit and take a look. So this is the silver collection. So you get all of these for your £66.99. So you're making a small saving than if you were to order these individually. But look at the patterns of those, so delicate. I love this colour. You know, I was saying about the burgundy, an expensive looking colour. I think this is an expensive looking colour. But it's delicate, it's pretty, and although it's flowers, it's not too frilly and fussy and girly. It's very subtle, and the combination of them all together. So it's kind of a grey taupe and a very pale buttermilky kind of yellow. So pretty. And there you go. You know, the really expensive interior stores. It's that kind of look, isn't it? You could imagine cushion covers and table runners and even curtains, seat covers, that kind of thing. And this one's a little bit of a larger print. We should do curtains, shouldn't we? If you put on we've got 2 Facebook pages. There's Facebook, Sewing Street TV, and then there is a Sewing Street Fans, which is a group, and they are read by marketing and management. So if you start stamping your feet a little bit, you never know, it might work. This is really classy, isn't it? Oh, I love these kind of prints with the birds and the type, and oh, we've got, oh, what are they called? Do you know, I'm rubbish at names of flowers. Down at the bottom there. They're kind of white, aren't they? And they grow in the hedgerows. Yeah, I'm rubbish at flowers. And the text, oh, it does actually, X size is a, oh no, is a duty charged on beer. Oh, sorry. X size is a duty charged on beer. The duty is for granted to King is one of the greatest branches of the, can't read that. So last time I brought you a fabric with type on, it was all in French, and that was fine because it sounds really romantic, doesn't it? But I don't know what this has got to do with beer. But at least it's subtle. Fancy that. I'll have to ask one of the sisters. Moda 3 sisters. Those 3 sisters are actually 3 sisters. They're Alison and Tammy and Jackie. And they're fabric designers. So let me just give you a bit of info because this is Quite interesting. It's nice to know who actually designs these, isn't it? I'm not reading this at all. A collaboration born of mutual love and respect. So they're a whole family of designers. Moda use lots and lots of different designers. They pride themselves on using some of the best designers in the world, which is why you have such a wide selection of different types of prints. There we go. But Moda, it says quality, doesn't it? Now then, we've got a russet colour in here as well. And this has got the script in the background too. I'm not going to read that. Probably something to do with gin and tonic. But a really pretty look, but it's only in 2 shades, so it's not too outstanding. So if you're going to put this next to something that has a print, it doesn't kind of argue with it. We've got the same print in the greys as well. Oh, it doesn't. It does. There's a shopping list, and it's got dates on there as well. Oh, well, that'll be interesting reading when you get it home. Same print again, but this time just in the cream colour. And then you can start to see how the whole bundle comes together when you mix the different colours. So you might have thought those two together don't really go, but when you put something in the centre that has these colours in it, it kind of ties the whole thing together. And that's a lovely colour as well. Really classy designs. And then quite a geometric spot. So it's a lovely combination of contemporary, of classic, of blossoms and romance. They're available individually as well. We'll have a look at those later on. They're all in a specific order so that we can identify them when I go through individually. So I've just mixed all of those up. So that's going to be fun, isn't it? So that's the silver collection. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 fabrics in total. Oh, let me just show the size quickly as well. Because you get 1/2 metre. 112 centimetres wide, so that's 44 inches. So really love, I love all of the designs actually, I love all of the colours as well. You know, sometimes when there's a bundle, when there's a whole collection, there's probably one that I wouldn't really use that one. But I like all of those. They're really pretty. Okay, so that's the silver. This is the light blue. So some similar, some different designs. So, but actually they do kind of mix and match together, don't they? Might have a mix and match sesh later. It's kind of a duck egg kind of blue, a grey kind of blue. So it's not, you know, it's not bright, and it's another classy one, I think. It's got a real vintage kind of feel to this one. So there, let's do that right. So this has got really tiny designs. That's great for your English paper piecing, isn't it? Then I'll open this one up a little bit more because it's got a larger print so you can see. So we've got musical notes on this one. And the birds. If anybody can read music out there, is that an actual tune, or is it just random notes thrown against the bars? Must be a tune. If the writing means something, then probably the tune would do as well. Nice colours though, isn't it? And then again, you've got the script in the background of this one. That's very different, doesn't it, in different colours. So that was from the previous collection, from the silvers. But actually, you know, you could mix those up. Could go that. Trying to keep them in order. Because the colours are the same. So if you were to go for 2 collections, you know that you've got the same ground colours. That's coming up later. That kind of works. Oh, if you're going to go for all of those, You can make a most amazing quilt, couldn't you? A huge one. Remember, it's Moda fabric, so you've got a really lovely quality of fabric there as well. It's nice to work with, but it's got a nice finish to it. So if you are making something like a quilt, and how time consuming would that be? But that's going to be around forever. So it's nice to have a really nice quality fabric. But you know, not just for quilting. This would be lovely for homewares. If you go by the metre or by the half metre, you could do it a dressmaking. So that's the geometric. And then finally, you've got a cream one. So let's go back again so I can put these back in the right order. So I think little flowers would make a lovely dress, or maybe a border on a dress, or a collar. That looks like homewares to me. That would be cushion covers. As with this one, and definitely that one. But this one would make a lovely blouse. And so would that one. So what are you thinking when you're looking at these at home? When you see a collection like that, are you thinking, like, right, that'd make a lovely quilt? Or are you thinking that would make a fabulous set of cushion covers for the conservatory? Come and let me know. So that's £59.49. You've got 4 metres in total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fabrics there altogether. We have more. There's 9 in this collection. These are rich colours. Now this is the navy. They almost look like strawberries, don't they? They're not. I think they're buds. But really deep, rich navy in the background. And then we've got the ditzy flowers again. So much detail on here, and the leaves are so fun. They've actually got little spots on them as well, so there's really very fine work. Same in the grey. And again, remember, if you do go for more than one bundle, you could literally dive in there and mix any of these together, and they go. That's the floral with the script. Oh, Margaret's messaging. Hi, Margaret. And she says, it's so nice to see Moda fabric, and it's nice to see me too. Thank you very much. If I could see you, I'd say the same back again, but it's lovely to have your company this morning, Margaret. Thank you. Pale greys as well. Look at the colours in those. But these could be summery, you know, depending on what you mix them with. Like a really deep navy, but then with the paler colours, really brightens it up. So you've got all season fabric, really. And this one even looks quite Christmassy, doesn't it? It's really delicate. Little sprigs. And you have the leaves with the spot background. And then that geometric one again, which if I do that, it's going to send your eyes funny, isn't it? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of those all together for £66.99. Now remember, you can order on the website. These are available by the half metre as well. So if you wanted more than just half a metre, they do come joined up this time. So if you wanted to order a couple of metres of one of these, order 4 units and they will come to you all in one length. So have a look on the website would be the easiest way to have a recap, because I'm going to go through the whole lot all over again now. So let's take a look at the silver. Right, so first of all, we've got the budding vines on stone. There we go. So stone colour in the background, and then this is the one with the very pale, creamy, yellowy colour. It's £7.49, remember, for half a metre, but you can, of course, order more and get them joined up. I do like those colours. Okay. And then the next one I'm imagining is going to be budding vines on white. It's not quite white. It's more of an off-white. But we're calling it white. But it's ivory. So again, on its own, £7.49. And you've got half a metre. So that's what you're actually getting for your £7.49. That would make 2 cushion cover fronts, wouldn't it? I don't know if you go into homeware stores, if they actually have Moda finished products. I don't think so. I think it's just the fabric, isn't it? But imagine if you were making things to sell. You could move the decimal point over, couldn't you? Or maybe not that much, but you know. We do like quality. Then we have this one with the type and the wildflowers and the musical notes. And this one is called Ephemera Collage. Silver on grey. The butterflies as well. Never noticed that before. Or is it a moth? Oh, now then, we've only got 13 metres of this one left. That's been a popular one. So if you want to get hold of that, I would do it sooner rather than later. Lots of you ordering on the website. Well done. While you're online, come and send me a message. Then, Flourish Script on Red. So this is on Red Berry. It's a rusty colour. On my screen in front of me, it looks a little bit deeper red than it actually is, but it's like a russet colour, brick. And again, it does have the script in the background as well. There's lots of detail here, lots of interest in this one. Are they peonies? I have no idea. I'm not too hot on my fauna and flora. So that's that. So I've been doing the gardening. I like to sit outside. I love the sunshine, don't we all? And I'm lucky enough to have a garden, so I do like to go and sit in the garden when it's warm. Got my granddaughter staying with us as well, so she's got a little bike outside she can have a drive around in. But it's growing so much, isn't it? Rain, sun, rain, sun, rain, sun. So we have, yeah, we don't have very many gaps in the garden at the moment, but it's only because they're full of weeds. But a weed is only a flower that's growing in somewhere where you didn't plant it, so my sister says. So I do like the daisies in the lawn, and it's a good excuse not to mow it as well because they're so pretty. Oh, now script on yellow, less than 10 metres of this one left. Yellow? I wouldn't say yellow, I would have said cream myself. But if you wanted to order it, it's called yellow. Oh, have I got that one wrong? Grey script on yellow? Oh, porcelain on white, there we go. Again, getting half a metre there for £7.49. All Moda 3 Sisters fabric, all of them brand new for you today. Something that we haven't seen before on Sewing Street. Well, it's nice to have something new, isn't it? And that's exactly what we've got here. So if you're patchworking, quilting, homewares, dressmaking, or bag making, you can make some fabulous bag. Or maybe not the whole bag, maybe just make a flap or a pocket out of this and really make your fabric go further. You've got quality fabric with a really lovely drape, lovely feel to it. And I always say, if you want to make a quality project, you've got to start with the quality fabric. It doesn't get much better than Moda, does it? Right, that's that one. Then we have Romantic Blooms Porcelain. This is a really classy design, isn't it? I'm not sure, are they flowers? Well, they are flowers, but I don't know if they're real flowers or just stylised flowers. I'm sure somebody will let me know. And again, they're £7.49. So that's Romantic Blooms Porcelain on natural. Then, I do like this colour. This is Rosebud on Stone. On it, now I wouldn't go for it on its own, to be honest, because I mean, looking at your screen there, I actually think that looks a bit dull. But when you mix it with something else, doesn't it? It just looks really classy. I love those really traditional colours. Well, they're not traditional, they look very modern, actually. So again, that's £7.49 for half a metre. Remember, if you wanted to go for more, they do come joined up. So if you ordered 2, you'll get 1 metre length. And they're 112 centimetres wide. And then finally in the silver, we have this one. And this is Trellis Silver. It sounds like the name that a pop star would give their child, doesn't it? Hi, I'm Trellis Silver. And again, £7.49 is your price there. Right, so that's the silver collection. If you wanted to go for the whole bundle, you get all of those and make a bit of a saving as well. So the whole lot together, £66.99. So I'm just tidying up now. There, so that's the whole collection together, the whole of the silver collection. But you can mix and match with the other colours as well, particularly with the pale blue. Because if I throw that in, it looks like part of the collection. If I chuck this one in, it certainly looks like part of the collection. So if you went for a couple, or if you like, I love that silver, but I really want to add a little bit of colour, I'm going to put some blue in there as well, then practically any one of those is going to, I like that actually, I think that works really well. So have a play, have a mix and a match. But those, £66.99. Oh, now then, we've had a picture, was it Kath? Pat, sorry Pat, let me find you. And then and search and Sewing Street and posts and visitor posts. Oh, Pat's been making quilts and bags in rainbow colours for her granddaughter. She's due at the beginning of June. And now that they've been gifted, I can share them with you. I made the bag as an extra out of scraps left over from making the quilt. My grandson and his partner love them. Those are fabulous. We're seeing a lot of rainbows around at the moment, aren't there? They're really pretty colours. My granddaughter was painting rainbows yesterday. Oh. Would it be possible, this is Mo, would it be possible for you, Sewing Street, to put a list of topics covered in each programme somewhere? I was needing to find Debbie Shaw making buyer's binding, which I'd seen her do live, but I didn't know when she'd done it. I have no idea. But you know, Hayley's got the day off today, Hayley B. She's in charge of marketing, so I'm sure when she gets back into work tomorrow, she's going to be picking up your messages and see what she can do. So if you'd like to send a message, I'm on Sewing Street TV on Facebook. I'm not on the fans page at the moment. I'm just on Sewing Street TV. So if you go to visitor posts and drop me a message, it would be really nice to hear from you. Let me know what you're up to. Let me know what you're making, and if you can send in pictures, that's even better as well. Right, let's take a look at the light blue selection. All new today, all Moda. You know, it's just, when you feel a really good quality fabric, it's nice, isn't it? It's nice to have. Okay, favourite one is this one, because I just like that vintage kind of look. So this is a Memoirs bouquets on light blue. But it does have that vintage feel, I think, because the colours are so muted. And again, a really classic design with the flowers, which do look a little bit like watercolours. There's lots of shading in it, I think that's why. So you've got a lot of colours on there. In fact, I should be able to tell you how many colours. Normally, the more colours you have in a fabric, the more expensive it is, because the more it has to be printed. And we have 10 colours. There you go. So all of the information's on your selvage. So I don't know if you've ever taken much notice of these before. Some salvages don't have anything on them at all. Some of them will have a swatch of all of the colours that have been used. So if you wanted to go to a fabric store, if ever allowed out again, you only need to take that piece with you so you can mix and match different fabrics as well. And what have we got here? Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. That's Albert Einstein quote. It's 100% cotton and it's Moda fabrics. And there we've got your by Three Sisters just on the end. So it's nice to have a bit of information. So some manufacturers don't put anything on there at all, apart from maybe the designer's name. That's like having a little personal message from the Three Sisters, isn't it? So then we have budding vines on light blue. Just making it up really. And again, these are £7.49. But they do, the colour of the rusty colour in the background, it's the same colour across the whole collection. So you can mix them up. So you could, in effect, make up your own bundles that they're all going to go together. So even on the navy collection, look, same colours. So that's budding vines on light blue. We have a stock update for you. We just nip back to the silver bundle. It's the inferior collage silver on grey. Been really busy for that. There's only 4 meters left of this one now. Oh gosh, I think somebody's making curtains, aren't they? Because we had an awful lot more than that last time we came to it. So £7.49. If you wanted to order more than one, well, you can order 8, and that's it. Moda are one of those fabrics that you just know. Sometimes shopping off the telly. When you can't actually feel and touch what you're buying, particularly with fabrics, because we can be very fussy. But you know that if you've got a big brand name, you're going to get the quality. And that's exactly what Moda is. It's an American company. They use lots of different designers. They pride themselves on using some of the best designers in the world, which is why you get so many different kind of looks with Moda. I don't think Moda is one of those fabrics where you think, like Liberty, for instance, you could probably recognise a Liberty print. Moda isn't like that because they use so many different designers. They have very, very different looks. So these designers are actually 3 sisters. That's why it says Moda 3 Sisters. They are actually 3 sisters that design the fabrics. Moda's input is to give you a really high quality of fabric that they print on. And the high quality means that you've got very fine strands, very fine threads, but lots of them. And that gives you a really nice finish. All 100% cotton. Just really lovely to work with. So, no matter what you're making. So, it could be quilting, could be dressmaking. That would make a nice blouse, wouldn't it? That's a really pretty colour with a white collar, maybe. Making a summer skirt would be pretty. In fact, you could go for a couple and maybe a couple of the very similar ones like that one, and put a border or some patch pockets on the front. Easy to do as well, particularly if you've put an elasticated waist, because you've got a really nice drape as well. But you just know, everything's going to match. You know you're going to have a really lovely quality garment if that's what you're making, and it's going to last a long time too. Alison's messaged in. Hello, Alison. She says, this morning's fabric takes me back to the Laura Ashley fabrics. Oh gosh, she was making clothes and homewares from Laura Ashley fabric in the 90s. It does have that feel, doesn't it? Really classic florals. Okay, so here we have blooms on crimson, romantic blooms on crimson. It's not crimson. No, it's that rusty colour again. It's definitely not crimson. I'm arguing with all of these colours, but it is the colour that you see on your screen. I imagine crimson to be a bright red, and this is more orangey, more of a brick colour. Again, it's £7.49 for half a metre. order more than one and they all come joined up. If you just joined us, we've got new fabrics for you this morning. Welcome along. If you can't wait for me, because I'm just going to keep flicking through all these fabrics for the rest of the hour, have a look on the website on sewingstreet.com and you can take a look at the whole range there. And of course you can order that way as well. This is Rosebud on light blue. Very delicate, very pretty this one. Tiny little spots in the background as well. And again at £7.49. Then we have Lattice on light blue. Trellis on light blue. There we go. Still got all the same messages on the selvages. Life is like riding a bicycle. I'm just reading down the side there. £7.49. And the final fabric in the light blue isn't light blue at all. Oh, and we've only got 5.5 metres left of this one now. That has a really delicate spot. I didn't even notice when I first picked this up. So it's cream, but with a really tiny white spot. That's nice because it just adds texture to it as well. There you go, you can just see that. Oh no, look, it's the trellis. That camera is an awful lot better than my eyes because looking at the fabric, I can't see that at all. I can just about make out a spot. Only two of us in the studio today, myself and Joe. Yes, who just found that rather amusing. It's an age thing, Joe, I can't see a thing. It'll happen to you one day. Right, I can't see that at all. You can go for the whole bundle if you like. So you'll have 8 fabrics altogether. We're working with a limited amount of people in the studio, as you would expect in this day and age. So just myself and Joe is directing in that direction and is doing cameras in that direction. So for laughing at me not to being able to see a thing, I think we should be going really, really close up and then coming really, really far away. I'm going to be a demanding presenter and direct from the floor. Come over close up with that, John. £59.49 is your price there. It's going to make me go all blurry now, you see. But that's what my world is like anyway. So that's £59.49 if you wanted to go for the whole bundle together. And then finally we have the navy. There we go. So this is bouquet on indigo. So these I just think are really rich, really lovely rich colours. Oh, a best dress for Sundays for little girls I think would be really nice. We used to get dressed up on a Sunday. I don't think people tend to do that anymore, do they? And again, £7.49 is your price there. It looks like a really traditional. I imagine maybe a little bit of smocking across the front of a dress would look really nice on that. Jenny sent a message. Morning, Debbie. I made the tote bag yesterday using one of your templates. Only problem is the pocket isn't central. See, if you hadn't have pointed that out, Jenny, we wouldn't have known that that wasn't central. I like your fabric. She's got pheasants on it. It's really nice. Looking at your wedding pictures on your mantel shelf. Thank you. We're on Sewing Street TV on Facebook. If you wanted to come and send us a message this morning, it would be lovely to hear from you. There we are. So if you go to Facebook, go to Sewing Street TV. Not the fans ones, the TV ones, and that's where people are sending their pictures, which is really nice. Love to see what you're making. And I think it's inspiring for other people as well. You know, maybe if you're ordering your fabric or you've got some fabric at home, and you say, how do I know what to make with it? It's just nice to have a little bit of inspiration from you. Budding Vines on Gold, this one. And again, it's delicate. It's quite contemporary. Mix and match with the other ones. That goes nicely together. Because the leaves are actually in that very, very deep grey. Tiny little flowers. Oh, that's £7.49. And then we have Budding Leaves on Silver. Budding Vines on Silver. And again, at £7.49. That's nice, because it's almost got a sheen to it, hasn't it? And that's not because it's printed like that, it's because the quality of the fabric, again, when I was saying about the threads being really close together, it has that kind of effect, but it gives it a lovely drape as well. Then I move on to Flourish Script on Indigo. I'm imagining cushion covers with a twisted piping, with a twisted trim, and then tassels in the corner. I think they'd look very expensive for making cushion covers. All right. We do have, some of you are, there's just so many of you ordering this morning, you're sending the website balmy. If you're having trouble ordering on the website this morning, then do go to the phone lines. It's a UK-based call centre. They're very nice people. And it's 0800 001 4433. So that might be an easy way for you to order. Don't want you getting frustrated if you can't get through on the website. This one, so I'm reading the script on here. Doesn't really make sense. Just checking it's not rude. So we have, that's it, that way. We have birds and butterflies and flowers and script and musical notes with flourishes in silver in the background. Memoirs porcelain on white fabric, we're calling this one. It's actually off-white, but there you go. And lots of detail. So they're butterflies, aren't they, not moths? It's quite architectural, I think, that one. So again, £7.49 is the price there. Then we have Romantic Blooms on Indigo. £47.49 again. That would look nice with that one. Methinks. So again, £7.49. So best way to order, remember, is on the phone lines 0800 001 4433. As you're looking at all of these individually, if you order more than one, they will come in one piece. So if you have got a large item to make, maybe you're looking at that thinking that would make a lovely dress, or a skirt, or a blouse, or a shirt, then you can order kind of meterage, if you like. Rosebuds on white, rosebuds on natural, tiny little rosebuds, leaves, and then you have the spot in the background as well. Pretty. I've actually got 5 colours in this. 2 colours of grey, 2 colours of the cream, and then there's a white. And again, it's £7.49. There must be a white and cream in the background. It is very slightly shaded, isn't it? Yeah, can't see too close on that. two more in this one. This is Sprigs on Indigo. And the sprigs, they almost look gold, don't they? It's not foiled, but looks as though it is. Again, it's £7.49, so you've got little white spots in the background. See, that one's got 6 colours in it. So we've had a message, have we, from Ruth. Hi, Ruth. Morning, Debbie. Just making cushion covers. One more to go. Then on to making a large cushion for my son's bed. Lovely to see you in the beautiful fabric. Take care. And you, Ruth. Thank you very much. So a large cushions for your son's bed. I do like making cushion covers. I think because they can make a difference to the way that your room looks, or just adding colour or making a whole room look different, but they're really easy to make in the main. And then we have trellis in indigo. And again, it's £7.49. So that, how many colours in that one? One? No, I think we've got 2 colours in that one. On the selvage it says 1, look. Unless that's just the colour of the fabric as it's been printed. Oh, there you go. So, our website is having a moment apparently. So phone lines are going to be the easiest way to order at the moment, so I do apologise about that. But it's nice to chat, isn't it? So come and have a chat with the girls and the guys in the call centre. So, and then they're not far from here actually, so we're all nice and local. Not that we can spend any time together or anything. Right, but we're sorting it out, don't worry. We shall hopefully get the website up and running soon. That's a whole complete bundle for £66.99. So if you do want to order, 0800 001 4433 and ask for the navy bundle. If you can write it down, it's XDXC89. But if you just say, oh, just like that navy bundle, please, then this is what you're going to receive. Half a metre of each one of these brings you 4.5 metres in total. Remember, this is Moda fabric, so you're looking at lovely quality fabric for your £66.99. Right. I'm going to take you right back to 8 o'clock this morning when we brought you our early bird. So a reduced price item while we have the stock. So this is kind of a hello at 8 o'clock in the morning. We've got a special offer. So it's a thanks for joining us from the moment we go live. And you're getting 2 metres of cotton fabric. It's 112 centimetres wide for £10.96. And that is such a useful fabric to have. It's going to be a great lining fabric if you're a bag maker. It'll be a nice lining fabric if you're making jackets and things like that as well. It is pre-cut though, so you won't be getting 4 metres if you order 2 of them. You'll have 2 separate 2 metre lengths. But 2 metres is an awful lot of fabric. And £10.96 is not an awfully large price. So yeah, that's just one of those things that's just worth getting hold of. Whether you're quilting, if you're dressmaking, if you're bag making, if it's homewares, you've got plenty there for so many projects. For your £10.96, all 100% cotton again. And that's a really lovely, rich colour. So, just nice. I mean, if you're making bias binding, you can make an awful lot of binding out of this. It's nice to have your own, isn't it? You always get the colour that you want then. But I'm always aware when I'm making bias binding, if I've only got a few fat quarters, I'm not going to get very much out of it. And because you're cutting at a 45-degree angle, there's going to be a bit of wastage there as well. So bias binding in my studio is always the less expensive fabrics. And of course, making binding to go around a square doesn't need to be cut on the bias, so that's going to go a long, long way as well. So again, £10.96 is your price here. And there's 2 metres altogether. So you're saving £3 off what would be the normal price. But only while we have the stock. And that's going really quickly. Now then, coming up in the next hour, I was going to say you can get ahead. You can probably have a look on the website, even if you can't order. We've got some books coming up. In the 10 o'clock show, we have the Elna Air Thread Overlocker. So if you've got any questions or anything that you want to ask about the overlocker, if you'd like one, but you think, oh, I need to know this or that before you place your order, message on Facebook now, and we'll save all of the messages up for 10 o'clock. I know you're going to have a lot of questions about that one. So it's facebook.com Sewing Street TV. So you can go to the visitor post bit, and then you can put a picture on there. Oh, Ruth, those cushion covers are lovely. Look at that fabric. Have you quilted those as well? So I'm just trying to zoom in. They are lovely. See, cushion covers, I think, can just make such a difference, and they're so quick. If you're a beginner sewer, then that would be a great project for you, because it's something that's quite quick. Normally, you're only sewing straight lines. Don't even necessarily have to put zips in or anything like that, and they really make a difference to a plain sofa or to a bed or the back of your dining chairs, maybe. These would make lovely dining chair covers, wouldn't they? With the Moda fabrics, fabulous. Oh, right, okay. If you search for the code for the fabric that you want on the website, and then click on the magnifying glass, and then it'll load, and that's going to work. Okay. But if you click on the text, that's not working. So click on the code, yeah? Or just give us a ring. That'd probably be easier. Give us a ring on 0800 001 4433. That's going to be the easiest way. Otherwise, click on the code when you go to the website, and that'll take you through so that you can take a look and place your order that way. All about the Moda fabrics in this hour. All brand new fabrics for you as well, which is really exciting. And Moda, of course, very well known for their quality and their use of designers from all over the world. So I'll leave you to have a look on the website, have a perusal, or place your order on the phone lines. That's going to be the easiest way to do that. And we're going to come back again in about 5 minutes' time with lots of books, a few more fabrics, and lots of inspiration. I'll see you in a bit. Hi, I'm Debbie Shaw from Sewing Street, and these are my 5 top tips for successful sewing. So, number 1, always use a good quality thread. A good quality thread will keep your seams stronger and also help to prevent lint building up inside your sewing machine. Tip number 2, if your project isn't going quite according to plan, put it down, walk away from it, come back again the next day, and you'll probably find that things don't seem half as bad as they did. My tip number 3, never throw away your sewing machine manual. Always keep it to hand, because you're going to find hints and tips, techniques and troubleshooting in that manual. You'll miss it if you lose it. My tip number 4 is to read your pattern instructions before you even cut out your fabric. Different manufacturers of patterns will give you different instructions, different ways of constructing your garments and different seam allowances. So to have a successful garment, you need to follow the instructions precisely. And then tip number 5 is don't give up. Every professional sewer sewed their first seam. Every professional quilter quilted their first quilt. Every professional quilter sewed their first line of wonky stitches and had to get out the quick unpick. That's no different to you. So I hope you find these useful. If you want more hints and tips, then why not go to Sewing Street on channel 74 on Freeview, on Sky 670, and of course we have a YouTube channel where you can catch up on previous demonstrations. We'll see you soon.
Hello and welcome. We love hearing from you, and we really hope that you can follow us on our social media platforms. We've got Instagram, which is @Sewing Street. We have Facebook. We've got 2 Facebook pages. One is the Sewing Street TV page, and the other one is Sewing Street Fans. All 3 of these are monitored all the time by our wonderful team, and if you want to message us on air, drop us a line on either of those 3 and we'll definitely be able to answer your questions that you may have. If you post on the actual wall, we can perhaps answer there. Otherwise, message us as well. That works really, really well. Thank you so much for being involved, and it's only because of this community that we're able to bring you all these different diverse products and to be able to answer your questions that you may have. Another way you can stay in touch with us is by signing up to our newsletter. These newsletters are sent out to you very regularly, and they include not only our guest profiles of upcoming guests, but also amazing shows that we've got coming up for you. And if you want to look at the amazing products before everybody else, that's the best way to do it. If you'd like to sign up and you haven't already, the link to follow is www.sewingstreet.com/sign up. You won't regret it. Thank you.
Hello there, I'm Debbie Shaw, and I would love you to join me on the first Monday of every single month for Sewing Street Surgery. Now, this is a dedicated hour where I answer your questions, and that could be questions about techniques, it could be questions about tools, it could be questions about new products, or maybe something that you've seen that you just don't understand. There's a lot of questions about tensions on sewing machines, and there's a lot of questions about working with different weights of fabrics. So if you have a question that you'd like to ask me, the easiest way to bring a question over to us is to go to our Facebook page and post your question on there. I will collate all of those questions throughout the week. If we need any new products for you, or if we need any new demonstrations, those will all be worked on leading up to that first Monday of the month. So do join me, Debbie Shaw, on Sewing Street Surgery on the first Monday.
Hi, I'm John Cole Morgan, and I'm here to give you my top tips on how I go about enjoying my sewing experience. My first top tip, as everybody knows, rotary cutter safety. If you're not using it and it's not on the mat, that blade must be locked. Please be safe. My second top tip is always buy more fabric than you need. If you don't have it, it's always going to sell out. You're going to struggle to find it, and when you do, it's going to cost you a lot more than when you were going to buy it originally. So buy it all. You always regret the bit you didn't buy. My next tip is, positive or negative, always listen to the advice and opinions of other people. Even if you ignore them, everybody has a different perspective, everybody has a different take on things, and it might help you along the way. The next top tip I have is always buy the most expensive and the most useful and the most practical for your brain product that works for you. Some people prefer different things. Buy what works for you. And my last tip is, this is fun, this is enjoyable, and make sure you are enjoying it. Because there's nothing worse than carrying on with something and hating it and not enjoying it. You need to make sure that you're having fun. Those are my top tips and how it is that I enjoy my sewing experience. I hope they help you, because they have helped me. For more handy tips and demonstrations, make sure you watch us on our Freeview channel 74, Sky channel of 670, otherwise follow us on YouTube on Sewing Street, where you can catch up on past demonstrations and shows. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Hello there, welcome back to Sewing Street. My name is Debbie Shaw, and in this show we're going to be looking at books. We've got a little bit of inspiration for you, and we have some fabrics as well. And I'm going to make a little bag. Just to let you know that from the previous hour, our early bird has now sold out. So well done for those of you that were up with us at 8 o'clock this morning. You've got yourself a bargain. But that's now gone. Hopefully we'll have another one for you tomorrow morning. But let's dive in and take a look at what we have for you. Now, we've got a whole selection of books for you in this show. Should we start with me? All about me. This is one of my most recent books. This is the first of a series, actually, of sewing room secrets. This one is machine sewing. So this is a book for the absolute beginner. So if you have never sewn a stitch before, if you'd like to learn how to use a sewing machine, if you want to learn a few techniques and then make one of 10 projects, or all of 10 projects, then this is a book for you. If you're teaching somebody how to sew, this is a nice book to give them as well. Because inside here, we've got, in fact, let's have a good old look. There's a whole list of things that you would like. There's a whole list of things that you would need. And I'm going for the things that you need, not the things that you necessarily would like. So a little bit about the book, a few quick tips for you as well. And these are your sewing room essentials. So again, there's things that you want, and there's things that you need. This is just what you need. So that's actually my sewing room. So I've got a cat in one half and the dog in the other. That's two of my sewing rooms. Through the door at the back I've got a cutting room, and then all towards this side is all photography and filming. So that's half the house taken up with sewing. No surprise. a brief introduction to sewing machines, a tour around a sewing machine feet, and again, these are the feet that, there's loads more feet than just what I'm saying here, but these are the feet that I think you're going to find most useful. Twin needle sewing machine needles. So there's a lot of information about the tools that you need to get yourself going. Even pins, needles, adhesives, daughter doing the ironing. Different types of fabrics. Again, there's hundreds of different types of fabrics, but these are going to be the ones that you use most often. A little bit of jargon busting and pre-cuts explained. Storage is really important. I like to be organised. I think being organised can save you money because you can see where everything is. So I know I've got all of my threads they're all on the wall. I've actually got about 5 of these racks, and they're all in colour order. So I'm not going out and buying twice when I can say exactly what I've got. So I think storage is really important. Then we've got some terminology and some techniques. So different types of seams, and then on to projects. So this is a really basic, it's a pin cushion with a little scissor keeper in the front there as well. So you will have learnt the stitches, you'll have learnt all about your fabrics, and then you can make a really quick project. Then we have a little bit about zips and different types of zips, and then piping, and then we make a cushion cover with piping and with the zip. So you're learning about the tools that you need, you've learnt about the fabrics, you learn about the techniques, and then there's a project using the techniques that you've just learnt. There's 10 projects in here altogether. Then we've got free motion embroidery and using shirring elastic. Using the shirring elastic to make a little girl's dress, and we've already seen applique and seams in previous chapters. So you can see what I'm doing there. How to make your bias binding, then how to make a toaster cover using the bias binding and using free motion embroidery. So again, you're using the techniques that you've learned to actually make a project. There's your applique section, free motion embroidery and applique to make a drawstring bag. A little bit about bag making as well, because that's my thing. And then we've got a tablet case using a zip, using a magnetic clasp that you've learned how to fit. There's a bit about purse frames and hardware, and then using a purse frame and how to design your own purse to make it. So you get the idea there. So learning techniques, making bags. There's a little section about pleating. Pleating with a fork is a really easy way of creating 1-inch pleats. And then using your twin needle and your pleating and your gathering to make a bolster cushion cover. So it's not just a techniques-based book, it is a project-based book as well. But that's aimed at a completely new sewer. But again, nice gift idea, I think, for somebody who is learning to sew or wants to learn how to sew. So that was the background there. We have got a couple of my panels as well. These are actually my sewing machine. I haven't brought the machines in, but you can see the one in the background here is actually that machine in the fabric. So I have quite a collection of sewing machines. I love these coloured ones. I think that's 1960s. It's not particularly vintage, but I just love those colours. You don't tend to see so many of those. You see a lot of the black ones. And these are just huge panels of fabric. So on this side, you've got 2 of the large sewing machines, I think they're 9 inches square, and then the smaller panels. And I've deliberately put them together like this because I didn't think you were going to make a quilt out of it. I would imagine that you're just going to cut these up and use them as applique. I'm going to cut one up in a bit and make a little bag out of it. So really simple to use. So you've got 10 images there all together. And then on this side, you've just got 2 strips of fabric. So you could use that as a bag lining, or you could use those maybe for a little bit of patchwork or cut them out individually as applique. So these are the classic black ones. I've got a Pfister and Rossmann. These are actually children's machine, so it's a fraction of the size of that one. It's a bit misleading, but I've got the Jones and I've got a few Singers. This red one's a Singer. I think that's a Jones. I've got a Novum in that colour as well, which is really nice. Yeah, I've got a few of those sewing machines. I just can't resist them when I see them. I just think they're beautiful. Never used any of them. I'm sure they work, but they're just beautiful ornaments that I like to have around my home. Again, printed on cushions, printed on cotton, photographed by my husband, and designed by Tom, and printed in the UK. This is the bobbins panel. So similar but slightly different colour, but they do go together because it's the same colour pink that's been used in both. It's the same colour greys. So on the one side, again, I've got a collection of bobbins. I have had to change the names on these for copyright reasons. So all of those bobbins, I've got Debbie Shaw on them. They're not actually Debbie Shaw threads. But over here, yeah, working on that one, we've got just the bobbins on the fabric panels. Now the £19.99, you're getting quite a lot there as well. It's 140 wide and over ½ a metre in length. And I've seen little girls' dresses. These are the darker colours that we did initially. But I've seen little girls' dresses and bags and storage bags and sewing machine dust covers and pin cushions. There's so much you can do with this. But if you have sewing themed fabrics around your sewing room, I think that's quite a nice idea. Maybe a cushion on your sewing chair, thread catchers, so dust covers for machines, really important to keep those nice and clean. Maybe one for your overlocker as well. So that's your sewing room decorated. Backpacks is another one of my books. So there's different types of backpacks. That's just one. I did bring more in, there's not much room to show anything. But this is, whoops, if you saw the satchels show the other day that I did, this is of a similar vein, but it's backpacks. So this is your pattern. This one pattern is enough to make at least 15 backpacks, all in different styles. I'll show you that in just a second. Excuse the noise as I'm opening that. I bet that's really noisy, isn't it? That's it. So you would simply pop this onto your fabric and then draw around the bag that you want. So you might recognise a nose and an eye, so that's if you wanted to make a bear front. But there's a round backpack, there's a square backpack, there's a smaller backpack, there's a pocket flap. You can kind of see that, can't you? There's the pocket, place on fold, and there's the pocket flap. And these are cut out corners so that you can square the bag bases. That's a different type of base, that's a bear ear. So it's quite simple to follow. No pinning, you just simply put that on your fabric and draw around it. Have a little grippy spray, that should be back in stock now I think, to hold it in place. But these are the different types of bags that you can make. So some of them are adaptable. This is can be from a tote bag to a backpack. That's more of a classic design. And different ways of making these as well. So some of them have binding, piping around them. That's got piping around it. This one isn't. There's different ways of lining them. Even though some of the bags may look the same on the outside, there's different techniques of lining them. Got drawstring bags as well. That's the bear, different fastenings. But each one of the projects, I've outlined or highlighted the area that you need to use on the pattern. So just to help you out, and it's all listed down here as well, so everything that you need, and it'll say whether it's on the fold or not on the fold, just to try and keep things really simple. I try to put as many photographs in my books as I possibly can because it makes more sense to me when I can see every single step explained. So you can see with this one, for instance, apart from the finished one, you actually have 23 pictures. And that's just one of the benefits of being married to your photographer. So if I feel there's any more steps that I need to put in there, these are actually photographed as I'm making them, which is why we can just get lots and lots of pictures in there, which I think is important. So some of them are fun, some are very different. Considering this bag with the bear face is the same template as a drawstring bag, you can get some very different looks, different types of pockets, different types of zips. All ages, all genres. There we go. And you can even make a little purse using the template still. That's an extra project, so that would be number 16 in the book. I think our website's sorted now, by the way, so you should be able to click on an image and go through and buy something. So have a look on sewingstreet.com. Oh, these are signed as well, backpacks are signed. And if you have a look on the website and you see satchels there, those are signed as well. And as far as I'm aware, nobody else has got any signed books. So the book does come out of that as well. The first 2 books that I made in this series are occasion bags and tote bags. These have 2 templates inside. Like so. So I'm going to make a noise rattling these around again. Apologies. So these were the first ones that that I designed. So let me show you on here because that will make more sense. So for instance, here you can see the shape of the bag, and that's the outline here. That's the flap of the bag on the fold. The heart was simply because there was a space there. So I thought, well, you could use that for a plique or a bit of free motion embroidery. Some of the bags, whoops, like this one, which looks similar because it's got the same shape of flap, but this doesn't have a gusset, it has darts in the side. So this one's got the gusset and a base. This one doesn't. So in this instance, you use the curved section here, and there's the dart. So same pattern, just different ways of doing it. That's a hole to put a zip in. It does say zip on it. And this piece is for the sides and for the base on fold. And you've got the handles on there as well. So these were the first 2, occasion bags and tote bags. Tote bags works in the same way with the 2 templates. And then we spent an awful long time, my publishers and I, on trying to find a manufacturer that could make a pattern that actually folds in half, which is what happened with the other ones. Backpacks and satchels. So many books. Oh, there's tote bags, really quickly. So same idea, 2 patterns in this one, and then 15 different styles of tote bags. Some have got zips, some have got pockets. That is a double pocket bag. So if you can see that properly. It's actually got 2 bags sewn together. But yeah, little drawstring bags, beach bags, shopping bags. That one folds away inside itself. My dad used to tell a story of a woozle bird that's just sprung to mind for some reason, but I'm not telling you that on air. It disappeared somewhere, never to be seen again. So 15 different styles there. I'm sure you can come up with more when you get yours home. And I've seen lots of pictures that you've been sending in over the months with these. So I love that. Okay, let me give you a quick reminder of the panels, and then we could do a bit of sewing, couldn't we? Well, look at the machine, obviously. It'd be rude not to. This is the sewing machines panel. So maybe an apron with pockets on the front to keep your notions in while you're sewing. And again, cushions and storage boxes, that would be nice. And then you've got the sewing machines on this side as well, all printed on 100% cotton. Easily you can make a sewing machine cover out of this, even if it's just one of those that kind of folds over the top of your machine and ties at the side. That's really easy to make. Cover for your overlocker. Maybe you could even make things like placemats and things out of that. Overlocker's coming up in the next sale, by the way, the Air Thread Overlocker. It's the same as the one that I've got, so I highly recommend that one. This is the bobbins panel. So we do have machines on here as well, but we're concentrating more on the bobbins. So this one's got the pink background. The colours are the same, so the greens and the greys will match if you go for both of those, so you can mix and match them together. And they're both £19 and 99 pence. They've got quite a collection of bobbins as well. I think I've got about 20 of the old-fashioned sewing machines and just bags full of those bobbins. I just can't resist them wherever I see them. They take me back, actually, because when I learnt to sew in 1840, we only had wooden bobbins. I don't remember plastic bobbins at all. So it kind of takes me back a little bit. Right, I was going to make a little bag. I am going to make a little bag. And I am going to use the sewing machine panel, and I'm going to use the two big pieces for the front and the back. I'd normally use rotary cutter, ruler and mat, but we are a little bit squished for space here. So, but not everybody has them. So, trying to cut reasonably square. Love that noise. Yeah, let's go right up to the edge. So front and back I'm making from these. It wasn't a plan, I just thought we'll have a go. And then I'll make the lining out of the longer panels, which may seem a little bit of a waste, but you use a plain one and make pattern fabric go a little bit further. If you need any tools or anything, by the way, have a look on the website. We've got a nice range of really good quality scissors, cutters. So front and back, and then I'll need two more pieces for, no, the same size. Well, that was a good guess. Two more pieces for, that's a bit skew-if, isn't it? No, that's going to annoy me, sorry. Let's make that straight. But have that sitting in the centre. Same on this side. So two more pieces for the lining. Oh, hi Gabriel. Drawstring bag made with the Sewing Street Feline Friends panel. My first attempt at putting a panel on a bag. That is so fun. Don't think I've seen those panels. That's really pretty. So I need two pieces for the lining, and I'm going to use this one. So let's just fold that so the prints meet. And we'll use that as a template. And cut around the edge. Little bags like this, so easy to make. You could give it a little bit of oomph by adding some H640 to the back, some fusible fleece or a little bit of wadding. I'm not going to do with this one, but it's really quick, but you'll find them really useful. And again, they're great projects for anybody that's just starting to sew. Maybe you've gone for the Sewing Room Secrets book and you want to make a simple bag with a zip in it. All the techniques are in there. So it's a good project for a beginner sewer. And I always think it's nice as a first ever project that you make something that you're going to use or something that you can gift. And if you are a new sewer or you're teaching somebody how to sew, it's nice to have a project that's quick as well, that's achievable, that you can do in a short amount of time. I just need to trim that back a little bit because I didn't quite get that straight. Oh, come here. That's better. There. That's okay. Right, let's put the zip in. My zips tend to be a little bit too long. You could put little tabs on the end of the zip so you've got fabric on the end. This one isn't. The zip's going to go straight into the side because I want to do this quite quickly. I always buy zips that are too long because I can cut them down to size, and it also means that the slider is going to be right out of the way while I'm sewing, which helps. So this is going to go across the top of the bag like so. Let's see if we've got a zipper foot to hand. If we haven't, I'm not going to use one. Yes, we do. There we go. Got it. Right. So I'm going to move the needle over to one side just by pressing the button. This is the Elna 680, by the way, the 680 Plus. Lovely sewing machine. 5-year warranty on this one. I know. So I'm trying to keep everything nice and neat. And it comes with a whole selection of feet. It has a nice cover as well. It's not a hard plastic cover, but it's a nice fabric cover with this one. And it comes with an extension table as well. FYI. Okay, so I'm just going to go straight down the side. If you are a seasoned sewer, if you're in a rush, you can actually sew both pieces together at the same time, but I find it easier to show you the way that it works if you're a new sewer by just sewing each side individually. So I'll cut that with my snips, and that is sewn into the one side. My lining is going to go on top of that facing down, and I find it easier now to sew from the side that I've just sewn because the zip sandwiched in between the two pieces. I can't see where I'm sewing from that side. So I can see my stitch line over here already. So let's just sew straight across the top. Foot's dropped off. So I'm trying to follow the existing stitch line. It doesn't matter if it's not exact. And just line up the two pieces. Smaller projects like this, I find it easier not to pin, because by the time I put all of the pins in and then remove them as I'm sewing, I could probably make a couple of these bags. And snip. So then you have the zip sandwiched in between the two pieces. So now we need to put the second half on. So taking the outside section, and that's going to go right sides down on top of the zip. And I'm sewing from the zip side so I can see where I'm going, about halfway down the zip tape. If you have a fabric glue stick, you can glue this in place if that makes it easier as you're sewing. And then the second piece of lining needs to go on the opposite side. So again, sew the zip sandwiched in between the two pieces, like so. And I'm going to sew again from the same side as I've sewn before so I can see where the stitches are. And it is a really, really quick project. But this could be a pencil case, could be a makeup bag, somewhere to keep spare bobbins. If you are on the go, I know we're not allowed to be on the go. Oh yeah, we are actually, aren't we? As long as we're not too far. But I'm thinking if you're going to sit out in the garden or you're taking your sewing bits and bobs into another room, maybe you're a cross stitcher or you're an embroiderer. What a nice little bag just to keep all of your bits and bobs in like that. So now I've got the zip sandwiched in between the two pieces. So that's the lining and that's the outside. Now we can chop the ends of the zip off. Don't need that. Make sure that that's in there before you chop this end off. And then with the zip open, now that's going to come straight off the end, so be careful. I'm going to sew these pieces together. To make it easier, so this doesn't happen, I'm just going to sew the ends of the zip together. I'll put the regular foot back on here. There we go. Zip back in there, and drop on there. And then sew. I'll put the needle back in the centre position again. If you've never used a computerised sewing machine before, all of that is the reasons why you need one. It's quick, it's easy, it's just pressing buttons, but everything's set up. I haven't had to worry about tensions and stitch lengths and stitch widths. You can choose all of that if you want to override everything on the machine. But it's just, it's like jumping into a brand new car when you've been driving an old banger. It just feels really quality and safe. Now then, we're going to sew all the way around the edge, but leave a gap at the bottom so I can turn it the right side out. So the zip needs to be open. As I'm coming up to the lining, I'm going to push the zip towards it because that zip is in like an H shape at the moment, so it goes across. So when you come to the lining, push it that way. And that makes the ends of the zip disappear inside the lining. So I'm going to start at the side here. No particular seam allowance. I tend to use the edge of the foot, which is around about 1/4 of an inch, maybe a little bit more. So I'm coming up to the zip. I'm going to slow down a bit, push it towards the lining, Is that the lining? That's the lining. And just careful as you go over the ends of the zip. You can sew over the zip as long as it's a nylon one. I wouldn't do that with the metal zip. Just take it easy. The worst thing that would happen is that you're going to break a needle. You will break needles. You get spare ones anyway. It happens. It's a little bit short. I'm going to come around the bottom and down the other side. It's nice fabric to sew with this one as well. It's quite a loose weave. So again, if you wanted to make it substantial, then simply put some stabiliser on the back of it. But it makes it easier to hand sew if you wanted to maybe embroider it, or if you prefer hand sewing to machine sewing. So push that towards the lining again. And just slow down as you go over the zip. And away we go. You know, I'm not even on full speed. It's a nice quick machine as well. There we go, that's more like it. And then we need to leave a gap in the bottom. So I'll just reverse there, snip the thread, move it across, reverse back, into the bottom corner, and snip. That is fast, isn't it? I've not really had a good play with this machine yet. Impressed with that though. Right, so I've just cut off the corners just to reduce the bulk in the bottom of the bag when I turn it the right side out, which we will do now. This is why you need to leave the zip open. Pull that through. Push out the corners. You could make a square base on this, but it'll spoil the design of the sewing machine panel at the front. If you imagine you make a square base, that's going to disappear, and it's quite nice to see that border. I have an hole in my lining, so I need to sew that up. If like Jenny, you're very particular about sewing your holes up, you'll be doing that by hand with a ladder stitch. Jenny, who messaged in the previous hour, she's ever so fussy, ever so fussy. But I'm just going to go across the bottom of the sewing machine because I'm thinking no one's going to look inside there anyway. And then we'll push the lining inside. And push out the corner. So you can see how the ends of the zip go into the lining section there. So that's that. That needs an iron, and that is one of the quickest little bags I think you're ever going to make. It's quite cute, isn't it? It's quite a nice size. I would maybe put a little piece of ribbon in the end of the zip. Let's pull that out a bit, just so I can grab hold of it. You could put a wristlet or a strap onto one side of it if you wanted to. But that was, what, 15 minutes? Oh, we're not even at past yet, are we? I could have made 3. And you've got that nice little lining on the inside as well. And after that, I've still got all of this to play with. So I've still got the whole section of the sewing machine panel there, and I've still got 8 little sewing machines. I could make pin cushions out of those, couldn't I? Matching pin cushion. Or 4 tiny bags, little pouches. So, that was a quick one. I shall iron it later. Right, we've got more fabrics on the show. So we've got these. And these are Tilda. We were saying about Moda fabrics in the previous hour being quality. Tilda's got that same kind of reputation, haven't they? And Tilda, because they don't use as many designers as Moda, is more recognisable as Tilda fabric. So you've got the quality of the fabric, but you also have really distinguishable prints here as well. This is the Lazy Days collection, which I'm going to undo and take out to show you. So, pack of fat quarters, And there's 5 of those in total. The thing I love about pre-cuts like this, they're of sizes that you wouldn't necessarily be able to go into a store and buy. Not many places would sell you a 1 fat quarter unless it was a pre-cut fat quarter. But it also means that your colours are going to match. So you may find designs, maybe those 2. If you saw those 2 fabrics on a bolt in a shop, you might not think they go well together. But these have been specifically put together, as with any fat quarter bundle, so you know that they're all going to work, they're all going to blend, the colours are all going to be the same core colours, so you know that it's just going to work. Personally, with pattern fabric like this, I would be using a plain as well to break it up a little bit. And if you're using a less expensive fabric, it just means that your expensive fabric is going to be stretched a little bit further. So a fat quarter, if you weren't aware, is as it comes off the bolt. You've got your meterage. If you order a fat quarter, if you buy 1/4 of a metre in a shop, it'll probably come as a long 1/4 of a metre because they'll just chop it off the bolt. But this is a 1/4 of a metre with a metre cut like that into 4 pieces. So that's the kind of size that you have. Normally 18 inches by 22. I'm not very good at metric, I'm afraid. But that depends on the width of the bolt as well. So if you've got a wider bolt, you'll get a wider fat quarter. So that's little flowers. They look different when they're opened up because you can actually see the way that the pattern has, or the way that the print has been designed. So is it doll's clothes? Is it Tilda doll's clothes that you're going to be making with these? Bag making, cushion covers. Large design there, look. It's almost like dandelion, that one, isn't it? And then this one, this is lovely. This takes me back to the 1960s. It has that flower power kind of look. It looks like it should be on a Beatles album cover. And then finally, you've got the lacy one. So this one looks like doilies. And again, £14.99. You've got all 5 of those. That's actually that way. Apologies. So all 5, that's a good price. £3 each. I would say that on average, you would pay about £3 for a fat quarter. But for Tilda's not average fabric. I would just take advantage before somebody realises. Right, so that's the first set, which is the blue, and we also have a coral. You don't really want to watch me do that, do you? In an ideal world, we'd have a whole bunch of staff. Yes, floor managers, assistant floor managers, camera ops, tech, sound. Just me and Joe today. Right. Oh yeah, vision mixers, assistant directors, assistant presenters, makeup artists, wardrobe. No, that's proper telly. £14.99 again. So you've got similar prints. I shan't open them all up again because they're the same print, just in a different colourway. But again, all 5 for £14.99. Those are worth stocking up on, you know, at that price. That is so low for Tilda fabric, seriously. Now we do have a fat quarter book. This is by Wendy Gardner. So if you're thinking, oh, it's all very well having this bargain fabric, but what on earth do I do with it? Wendy's put together a book using 2 fat quarters. And there's a lot you can do with 2 fat quarters. You can be making toys. You could make a brush roll. Now, Wendy, it's a little purse, this lot. There she is. Wendy's put together a lot of different types of projects for you, from a pair of shorts to a bag, a little dress, even a Christmas stocking. So she's given you a list of materials, stabilisers, tools, things that you need. I like these sections. They make interesting reading, even for an experienced sewer. Oh, I didn't know you could do that. How to finish off your seams, a little bit of patchwork, decorative stitches, and then on to the projects. So, oh, the coral fat quarters, less than 10 of those now. They're going quickly. But nice little starter projects again if you're a new sewer, or if you've lost your mojo, or your sojo, as somebody called it the other day. Don't know where my sojo's gone. If you're working on a larger project, maybe you're quilting, and that's taken a while and you just want something quick, just want to do a little bit of sewing that's quick, then these are certainly they. And of course, you don't have to use fat quarters with this, but that's just the amount that it's going to take. So don't rush out and buy fat quarters thinking, oh, I need those to go with the book. You're just using small amounts of fabric. And Teddy's cute. And in the back, you've got patterns there as well. Ooh! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Thanks for promoting 12 of my books. The full-size patterns in the back as well. So no enlarging by 200% or anything like that. Those are all kept in the back of your book. So £9.99. £9.99 your price for that, including your patterns. Just take you back really quickly to my sewing machine panel. That's the one that I've been chopping up. There's less than 25 of those. So if you've just joined us, that's not what you get, but that's what you have left after you've made a little makeup bag out of it. So less than 25 of those. It's £19.99, all based on my sewing machines, my collection of sewing machines, and all printed here in the UK as well. And exclusive to Sewing Street, forgot to mention as well. You can't get these anywhere else. Can't even get these on my website. Even I can't get these. I know. I'd have to buy one just like you do. So that's the deal. Exclusive to Sewing Street. Don't bother shopping around, you won't find them. And that's just £19.99. So there's the two larger sewing machine images, which I've made the bag out of. And then there are 8 of the smaller ones. They would make nice pockets on an apron maybe, or a pliqué, or little pink cushions would be nice. There we go. Oh, also the fat quarters, the blue bundle. I've only got 2 left now. So we have had problems with the website, but that's all up and running again now. So you can order on sewingstreet.com, or you can order on the phone lines 0800 001 4433, and that's a UK-based call centre. Let me just fold this up, because I'd have to do it after the end of the show anyway, because we can't literally get the staff. So who's in tomorrow? Is it John tomorrow or is it Vicky? Oh, I'll tidy up for Vicky. If it was John, I'd just leave it messy for him. It is actually very clean down here. I think the cleaners must have been around. I made such a mess last time I was in. There's bits of thread all over the place, and it doesn't half stick to this carpet. So, unless that was Vic's. Okay, but only a couple of those left, so if you wanted to order those, be rather quick for those. They're only £14.99, and you're getting 5 tilde fat quarters. That's £3 each. That's just ridiculous. Oh, most popular book today has been my backpacks book. Thank you very much. And that's this one. So you've got 15 projects. This is one of my newer ones, and it's signed as well. The book's actually inside a folder, so that will come out if you wanted it to. I shan't take it out. It's a little bit stiff the first time you do it, but there's lots of different types of backpacks that you can make with just one pattern. So you can make something that's a little bit fun. See, all signed. But all of these, oh, that's a nice one as well, if I say so myself. That's completely flat, so it's great for putting documents and things like that in, but it self-closes when you pull the handle up. That's a convertible one, so it can either be a tote bag or a backpack. So some of them are a little bit fun with the bare face on there, some of them are a little bit more grown up. But basically, after going through all of the hints and tips and tools and techniques, I don't put zips in every single bag. I'm going to show you how to put a zip in, and then you can choose whether you want to put zips in the front, in the back, if you wanted to add a patch pocket or a flat pocket. So you can kind of become your own designer. So I'll give you all of the ingredients, and then you can make up your own recipes. So again, another convertible, could be a tote, drawstring with a flap. Each one of the projects, I've outlined the part of the template that you're going to use, and you don't need any pins, you don't need any enlarging or anything like that. You're not cutting up your book. You simply plonk your pattern on the top of your fabric, draw around it, and cut it out. It's really easy. They are clear, so you can fussy cut, and they're wipe clean. There's different ways of putting linings in as well. This one is that the hand sewn one? So finished off by sewing in by hand, just around the zip area. Some of them have a little bit more of a technique of bagging out. That's a hand sewn one. So I've done so many of these books, I can't remember which one's which. This one, the raw edges are on the outside. That's using a faux leather. We've actually got that on the website. So all pieces sewn together and then bias binding around the edges to finish it. So again, another different technique. That's another hand sewn around the zip. That's one of my favourite ones. I like the bare face, I think it's good. And that's the convertible one. And then just a little extra something, because you can make a purse out of it as well. So it's obviously not a backpack, but that would be project number 16. So, $12.99. The recommended retail on those is £17.99. So you're making a £5 saving there. Oh, now then, we launched Moda fabric in the previous hour, and the navy has been the most popular one. So let me give you a reminder of it, or show you if it's the first time you've seen this. We've got the whole complete bundle here. There's 4.5 metres in total for £66.99. I love these colours. I think they're really rich and really classy. So we've got florals, we've got vines in the different colours. There's a larger print with a script in the background. This is a lovely one as well. It's got musical notes and butterflies and birds and script. We've got blooms. These are all by three sisters for Moda, three sisters who design fabric. Little rosebuds. Leaves on a spotty background and a trellis. We did bring you 3 bundles, and they are still there if you have a look on the website. And they all kind of mix and match together really well because they're using the same base colours. Each 1/2 metre in length and 112 centimetres wide. I do like that. I'm imagining that as cushion covers and homewares. So all of those, all 4.5 metres, Moda, remember, for £66.99. 9 pieces in total. Really lovely quality. Let me show you the handmade touch book. I like this one. I love the designs and I love the colours that the authors used as well. They're very fresh and very clean and very modern. And you've got very simple projects again. So from little pouches through to bags. Lots of hints and techniques as well. That's a nice big bag, I like a big bag. So things for your home. So anything from little coasters, so you're learning a bit of patchwork if you're new to sewing, scrappy placemat, so not using up very much fabric, a floor cushion, and then, oh, I like big stitch quilting. So big cushions again, but techniques they can use on other projects as well. We've got a duvet, wool storage, mopping cushions, a whip pouch. It's a whip pouch. Oh, works in progress. Who knew? WIP, work in progress. And that's using vinyl. Another bag. Obviously got her shoes in that one. That do you know, a big bit of knitting there. Look at the size of her knitting needles. Or telegraph poles. Oh yes, no, she's just very tiny. Oh, something for your dog as well, that little collar. Or of course, no, your cat, sorry. For your cat or dog. And a catnip toy. She's obviously a cat lover. Little teepee. And then you've got some patterns in the back as well. That's a nice book. I love the pictures, love the photography, and I love the projects, and I love her colour choices of fabrics as well. And it's just £14.99. Lots of techniques in that one. Okay, let's take a look at a little bit of cross stitch from Jane Greenough. This is the New Cross Stitchers Bible, the definitive manual of essential cross stitch and counted thread techniques. This is a thick book, absolutely jam-packed full of everything that you need to know. Look at all of this. Oh, there's a lot of work gone into here. Shall I start at the beginning? I'm flicking backwards, isn't it? I do that at home. You can do that when you pick a book up. Or magazines always go backwards for some reason. So, French knots. My daughter would love this. Working with linens, embroidery threads. Yeah, Kim likes to do embroidery in the hoop. I'm sure she'd love doing this. So lots and lots of different techniques basically, and lots of different stitches. And the hedgehog. Oh, even using waste. So this is again £14.99. Nice little projects on here as well. No cross stitch for the impatient. But it's relaxing, isn't it? A little bit of hand sewing. Whittle away the time, or stitch away the time, and produce something beautiful at the end of it. That's a lovely sampler. And adapting things. Oh, a little cross-stitch message would be a lovely idea, wouldn't it? Thinking of you, missing you. We'll meet again. So it's a complete guide, reference guide. And this is the new revised edition, as you can see. And that's just £14.99. So lots of information in there as well. Lots of techniques and information. A really good read. If you want to go for needles, these are the ones that Jane recommends using. So you've got your gold-coated needles, gold-plated needles. There's a curved needle in here as well that I've opened upside down for some reason. There you go. So in here you have your beading needle. There's an embroidery needle. You've got one size 22. There's the curved needle as well. And then two each of 24, 26 and 28. And they're gold-plated, which gives you the quality, but it helps the needle to slip in and out of your work really easily. And when Jane's brought you these before on the show, there is a certain thickness of gold, which is imperative that it's the right thickness, and that's exactly what you've got here. Can't remember what she said it was, but she's very fussy about a gold, is Jane. And in a nice little box, so that keeps you organised as well. And that's £15.99. It's having the right tools for the job, isn't it? It always makes a difference to your work. The right sewing machines, the right needles, the right fabrics, and then you've got the right projects. Now this is a lovely project for you. I wish I had the finished sample to show you, but we can have a look at the picture. So this is a kit where you can make like an exploding box. So that's the box as it's with its lid on or closed up. But when it opens up, you've got somewhere to put scissors and pins and needles or notions. And you've got the pin cushion, the biscornu that's in the lid as well. That's really lovely. So everything that you need in here. So there's your threads, which are all numbered. So you can see exactly which thread you need according to your pattern. Then you even have the scissors that you're going to put in there are included. There's some little beads and embellishments, getting those as well. Your felt. There are some gold needles in there too. So these ribbon pieces are the bits that go across here. So you're making pockets out of those. And then you've got your fabrics and your patterns. So that's really comprehensive. It's in colour and black and white. Now that is going to be something that's going to take you a few weeks to make, and it's going to be really special. Maybe that is a gift for somebody when you do see them again. I know they say, what have you been doing all of these weeks? Well, I've been making a most wonderful sampler box for you. So that'd make a lovely wedding gift, wouldn't it? Oh, it's got a little scissor keeper there as well. I didn't notice that before. This actually collects my bobbins too. So the finished size is 3 inches square. So that's the size of the lid and the base, and it stands 4 inches in height as well. A lovely idea. So it's got the tray in the bottom, pin cushion in the lid, little scissor keeper there as well. All the sides fold up, lids go on, and you've got a box which is probably about the size of my hand. Really pretty. So, another thing that Jane specialises in is hardanger. And this is what she's written. Oh, this is signed as well. Oh, there you go. So a little bit about the history of hardanger and how Jane got involved. And the kind of materials that you need. And then what hardanger actually is and some of the patterns. So basically you're going to stitch around the edges like that, and then you take some very fine snips and snip away some of the threads so you get holes in it, and then you can kind of embroider around the holes so you get this lovely lacy kind of look. And you've got little projects in here as well. Was it an e-book that Jane made called Hardanger for the Horrified, which I thought was such a lovely title. So, and again, a few different designs for you and small projects to make as well. And that is just £9.99, and there's the lady herself. And these again are signed. Well, special to have a signed book, isn't it? And it's a nice pocket size as well. So great if you are travelling around. If you want to send me a message, remember I'm on Facebook, like now, they're waiting for you. So if you've got any comments, you've got any questions, it's a Facebook page, Sewing Street TV, and go to the visitor posts. So if you have any requests, if you're new to Sewing Street, what do you think? What would you like to see? If we come, oh gosh, that's going quickly. Now, coming up in the next hour, we have an Air Thread Overlocker. So again, if you've got any questions about that, then come and let me know. We will be threading and showing you how simple and easy that is. And we're also going to be sewing some curves and corners. So I'll show you how to do that on an overlocker as well. So I've got all my fabrics back in there. We're all nice and tidy. So I shall see you again in about 5 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Hi, I'm Debbie Shaw from Sewing Street, and these are my 5 top tips for successful sewing. So, number 1, always use a good quality thread. A good quality thread will keep your seams stronger and also help to prevent lint building up inside your sewing machine. Tip number 2, if your project isn't going quite according to plan, put it down, walk away from it, come back again the next day and you'll probably find that things don't seem half as bad as they did. My tip number 3, never throw away your sewing machine manual, always keep it to hand because you're going to find hints and tips, techniques and troubleshooting in that manual. You'll miss it if you lose it. My tip number 4 is to read your pattern instructions before you even cut out your fabric. Different manufacturers of patterns will give you different instructions, different ways of constructing your garments and different seam allowances. So to have a successful garment, you need to follow the instructions precisely. And then tip number 5 is don't give up. Every professional sewer sewed their first seam. Every professional quilter quilted their first quilt. Every professional quilter sewed their first line of wonky stitches and had to get out the quick unpick. That's no different to you. So I hope you find these useful. If you want more hints and tips, then why not go to Sewing Street on channel 74 on Freeview, on Sky 670, and of course we have a YouTube channel where you can catch up on previous demonstrations. We'll see you soon.
Hello and welcome. We love hearing from you and we really hope that you can follow us on our social media platforms. We've got Instagram, which is @SewingStreet. We have Facebook. We've got 2 Facebook pages. One is the Sewing Street TV page and the other one is Sewing Street Fans. All 3 of these are monitored all the time by our wonderful team, and if you want to message us on air, drop us a line on either of those 3 and we'll definitely be able to answer your questions that you may have. If you post on the actual wall, we can perhaps answer there. Otherwise, message us as well. That works really, really well. Thank you so much for being involved, and it's only because of this community that we're able to bring you all these different diverse products and to be able to answer your questions that you may have. Another way you can stay in touch with us is by signing up to our newsletter. These newsletters are sent out to you very regularly and they include not only our guest profiles of upcoming guests, but also amazing shows that we've got coming up for you. And if you want to look at the amazing products before everybody else, that's the best way to do it. If you'd like to sign up and you haven't already, the link to follow is www.sewingstreet.com/sign up. You won't regret it. Thank you.
Hello there, I'm Debbie Shaw and I would love you to join me on the first Monday of every single month for Sewing Street Surgery. Now this is a dedicated hour where I answer your questions, and that could be questions about techniques, it could be questions about tools, it could be questions about new products, or maybe something that you've seen that you just don't understand. There's a lot of questions about tensions on sewing machines and there's a lot of questions about working with different weights of fabrics. So if you have a question that you'd like to ask me, the easiest way to bring a question over to us is to go to our Facebook page and post your question on there. I will collate all of those questions throughout the week. If we need any new products for you or if we need any new demonstrations, those will all be worked on leading up to that first Monday of the month. So do join me, Debbie Shaw, on Sewing Street Surgery on the first Monday.
Hi, I'm John Cole Morgan and I'm here to give you my top tips on how I go about enjoying my sewing experience. My first top tip, as everybody knows, rotary cutter safety. If you're not using it and it's not on the mat, that blade must be locked. Please be safe. My second top tip is always buy more fabric than you need. If you don't have it, it's always going to sell out. You're going to struggle to find it, and when you do, it's going to cost you a lot more than when you were going to buy it originally. So buy it all. You always regret the bit you didn't buy. My next tip is Positive or negative, always listen to the advice and opinions of other people. Even if you ignore them, everybody has a different perspective, everybody has a different take on things, and it might help you along the way. The next top tip I have is always buy the most expensive and the most useful and the most practical for your brain product that works for you. Some people prefer different things, buy what works for you. And my last tip is, this is fun, this is enjoyable, and make sure you are enjoying it. Because there's nothing worse than carrying on with something and hating it and not enjoying it. You need to make sure that you're having fun. Those are my top tips and how it is that I enjoy my sewing experience. I hope they help you, because they have helped me. For more handy tips and demonstrations, make sure you watch us on our Freeview channel 74, Sky channel of 670, otherwise follow us on YouTube on Sewing Street, where you can catch up on past demonstrations and shows. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Hello there, welcome back to Sewing Street. My name is Debbie Shaw, and in this hour we're going to be concentrating on the Air Thread Overlocker, but we do have some more bits and bobs for you in the show as well. So first up, we're going to take a look at making wedding dresses. So I would say for a little bit more experienced sewer, this one, but this will take you through how to draft patterns, and you've got some patterns in the back there as well. And of course, doesn't have to be just for a wedding dress. These could be special occasion dresses, prom dresses maybe. But you've got a really lovely book, and maybe you've got plenty of time to make a wedding dress. I know there's been a lot of weddings cancelled this year. My daughter was due to be a bridesmaid at her best friend's wedding in Italy in June, and even Princess Beatrix had to cancel a wedding, hasn't she? So maybe you thought, oh, do you know what? I'm going to make my own frock. Got ages to do it. So let me take you through some of the styles, the designs, and the things that you're going to find in here. So a little bit of inspiration for you with the royals, choosing a dress style so you know exactly what's going to suit you and what the different styles are actually called. And then, whoops, the stitching, different types of fabric, and then we're getting started. So you've got lots of hints and tips and ideas. Finishing touches, embellishments. You see a lot of wedding dresses with B. Oh, I love those buttons. And they look so elegant down the back of a wedding dress. Little roses, different ways of fitting, using georgettes. And then drafting patterns. That's what I love to see. Just lots and lots of little buttons. I think it's really pretty. So how to make up your own patterns and then making up your own style of dress. I've never made a wedding dress. It's always been a little bit daunting for me to do something like that, because it's just got to be so right and so special, hasn't it? So that's that. And then in the back here, we've got a few patterns as well. So this is the bodice front and back. They've got a bolero front and back. And you've got the sleeves, but she does explain how to make this up so that it's going to fit you, of course. And again, that's £14.99 is your price there. We also have the Little Best Dress book. So this could be bridesmaids, oops, or it could be again prom or party dresses. Now this was an early bird a few days ago, and we took the price down to £4.99. And I think it got stuck there because it's still at £4.99. That's such a good price. Lots of different styles in here as well, and different ages, of course, from very tiny to young ladies. So working with different fabrics, different styles of bodices, sleeve insertion, and again, how to make up your own patterns. When you've decided on the style of dress that you want to make, how to make a pattern to achieve that. £4.99. I hope the author's not watching. So that's an early bird special. Well, actually, we've sold out of our early bird for today, so we can treat that as a second early bird special for those of you that missed out on the early bird that we had earlier on today. Should we have a look at this overlocker? If you haven't used an overlocker before, it'll be for one of two reasons. Either you're not sure what it does, or it frightens you to death because of the threading. It's always the threading that people are worried about. So I'll show you the benefits of having the Elna in just a second. But let's take a look at what it does first of all, so that you recognise what the stitch is and what it does. So I'm just going to stitch across the edge of a piece of fabric. An overlocker will take your threads around the edge of your fabric to stop it from fraying, and it's also a stretch stitch, so it's great to use with jersey fabrics. But it has a blade on the side here, so as you're sewing, at an incredible speed, it cuts off the edge of your fabric. Unlike with a sewing machine, it will sew without fabric underneath it, and you will need to leave a chain at the front and at the end of your work. But the idea here, I've put 4 different coloured threads in here so you can see what job they actually do. So you can see the red and the blue ones, they're called the loopers, and they loop around the edge of the fabric. That's what stops it fraying. And then I've got 2 needles in there. One's got white thread, one's got yellow thread, and they do the straight stitch across the front. You can use 1 needle and that will make it into a 3-thread overlocker, or 2 needles make it into a 4-thread overlocker. You can flat lock stitch with this machine as well. But it is perfect for stretch fabrics. I shall take you through that shortly. But the idea is that everything lines up and sits on the edge of the fabric like this. You may need to tweak the tensions if you find any of these are looping. So just adjust these slightly until you've got that perfect stitch. And one of the reasons I like to use the different coloured threads to identify them is initially, if I find that maybe the blue thread's looping a little bit, I know it's the blue thread that I need to tighten. May not necessarily always be the blue thread that you need to tighten. It may be the red thread that you need to tighten to pull the blue thread down. So this is why I say have a play with the machine first of all. With this machine particularly, I have the Janome version of it at home. I've had this particular machine at home for a week or so when I first brought it to you, and I haven't adjusted the tension no matter what I've been sewing. It just seems to sew perfectly on every single item. My Janome version that I have at home, I paid £850 for, and I love it, and I'd pay it all again, but you don't have to. Okay, this is the frightening thing for most people about overlockers, when you open the front up here. Now, I don't need to switch the machine off because it's all disengaged now, so, which is a safety feature. So if I put my foot down on the floor, you can hear that, nothing's going to happen. So I can rethread the machine from here. Let me open this up as well. Don't be put off by all of this gubbins. It's a lot easier to thread than you might think. So I'm going to cut through all of my threads across the top here, and let me close it up and stitch out the chain. So the threads will come outside here, and I'll just pull that until they all come through. So now I'm threadless. There is a particular order that you need to thread the machine. Always on this one go from right to left. So blue first, then the red, then the yellow, and then the white. No matter what colour thread you're using, you're probably going to use the same colour thread throughout, but always start at this end and go back. If any of the threads happen to break, and that may happen at some point, you'll need to take them all out and then rethread back in that order again to stop them breaking. Again, I don't know why that is, but that's just what happens. So we're going to go under here. These are the tensions, and when you look at the machine, you can actually see the discs inside. They're like 2 pie dishes, and they sit like this, and the thread needs to go through the middle of the pair of them. You can feel that, so just make sure that your thread is going through the tensions. Then we're going to come down to the bottom here, and there's another little loop there to go through. Now, because I'm threading, I need to move this lever over to the right. And now, where the threads go, because it's going to go in here and they're going to shoot out over there, I need some extra channels to thread that through. So if I turn the hand wheel towards me, you will see actually everything kind of click and connect into place, which is the clever thing about an air thread overlocker. So before I start threading, I need to turn that hand wheel, and you'll see down here somewhere some channels just pop out. There. So that's where the thread's going to go through. So I need to thread this side first of all. So I'm going to move the lever over to the right-hand side. You will have tweezers in the box that comes with them, and I find it easier to thread with tweezers. Should have got those out before, shouldn't I? Yeah, if we had staff. So I'm going to push the thread into the hole by about 1 inch. Okay. And then this is a pump. So when I lift this up and pump it down, that thread's now gone tight. So it may have shot out already. I can't quite see it yet. I'm going to pull this down a little bit. Not that you need to do that, just so that you can see that it's pumping through. And is it there yet? Just keep going until it all goes through, just to show that it is going through still. That must be there now. Sorry. Where are you? I know you're going through it because I can see that. There we go. It's just shot out here. See? So that's my thread. That needs to then go underneath the foot. So the easiest way to do that, there's the blade, is to go under the blade and then to the back of the foot. So then I'm going to thread this side. So we need to push that over. And just like before, you don't have to do this every time. You can knot your next thread onto the first thread and then just stitch it all through and it'll pull it through. But I think it's good form to know how to do it, isn't it? So again, make sure that tension's engaged. Coming down to the little loop at the bottom. Then I'm going to use my tweezers again and drop the thread in here by about 1 inch. If you don't push it in quite far enough, it won't take. I don't think that, no, it's not in. So I don't normally do it with my left hand, you see, because I'm right-handed. Come here. So you go in there, and then let's see if it's got it. Yep. And I'm going to pull that, only so that you can see it. You don't need to do that at home, just so that you can see that that's being pulled through. And that has just popped out here. So let me pull that through a little bit more, just to show you. There you go. So that's the bottom two. You must remember to move this lever back over again. And in fact, you won't be able to sew unless you do. So that takes away those channels again. So we're now ready to sew, well, after we've threaded the needle. Just while you're there really quickly as well, let me just turn this around because we'll be doing this later on as well. I'll show you the buttons at the side here. So you can adjust the width of the stitch. This actually moves the blade from one side to another. Over here, I'm on a standard stitch at the moment. If I want to do a rolled hem, I'll just flip that over to R, and I can take the blade away altogether if I need to, just by turning the knob there, and that will literally move the blade out of the way. So if you're doing a flat lock seam, has that gone back up again? There we go. If I'm doing a flat lock seam, then I won't need to trim the fabric. If I'm doing a rolled hem, you actually leave the blade up, which is interesting. So that's the loopers. Now the needle threads, I will need to turn this around so I can see, so excuse my back. Just like with a regular sewing machine, you follow the lines. Going to go around there, down there, right needle first. And you do have a needle thread. I'm going to move that out of the way while I just thread the needle. So this is going to go into this bar here. I need to be in the right one there. Needle threader comes down. That needs to be as high up as it'll go, which is about right. And that one needle threader will thread both needles. So just move it into position. So I'm trying to do this without too many clumsy hands in the way. In you go. And that come out, pulls out the back. So just like with your sewing machine, you get the loop at the back there. Again, tweezers would be handy. And just pull that through. Your needles are at different heights. That makes the needles go into the fabric a little bit more smoothly. So if you're changing your needles or when you first use your machine, same with any overlocker, don't think that one of the needles has dropped down. It's supposed to be like that. So this comes down. Oh, Joan's messaged in. Hi, Joan. She said, morning, love watching the show. Thank you, Joan. Oh, she says, I'm a great addition to the team. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Right. And that's your second needle threaded. So now we're ready to go. Now there's no need to lift your foot up in most cases. If you want to put your fabric just underneath, you can lift the edge of the foot just to trap. And then always do a test first. And always do a test on the same fabric that you're actually going to use. Chain it off. And just make sure again that that thread is going to sit right on the very edge of your fabric. Got a bit of extra there. That's got a hitchhiker on the back. Now, you can change the width of this stitch by altering the position of the blade, as I showed you earlier on, but you can also change the width of the stitch by removing one of the needles. So if I'm going to do three thread sewing, I can take out either one of the needles. If I take out the white thread, so that's the left-hand needle, my stitch width will be from the yellow thread up to the edge. So it'll be about 1/4 of an inch. If I take away the yellow needle, then I'm going to have a wider stitch because it'll be this needle. And do take out the needle if you're not planning to use it, because otherwise you're just going to have holes in your work. Now we said about sewing around corners I wanted to show you as well. There's 2 ways of sewing around a square corner, and both really easy. So as I'm coming up to corner, I can go straight off and then go in this direction. And then with the end bit here, you thread this onto a big-eyed needle and then you can thread that into the seam. So that's one way of doing it. Another way of doing a corner is to stop just after the edge. So the needle's not in the fabric, it's just after the edge of the fabric. I'm stopping with the needle in the up position and I'm just going to loosen or pull the thread through on these two, on the 2 needle pieces, just to give me a little bit of give. And then I'll lift the foot up and turn this around, and then I can carry on sewing. So that's probably the neater way of going around a corner. It will have a little bit of a round stitch on the end, but you don't have any thread to thread through like you would do if you're doing it that way. So that's probably quicker, but that's a lot neater. So just have a practice with that. There are 2 types of corners though, aren't there? We've got innie corners and outie corners. So let me just make a corner here. I should have prepped that earlier. And we'll do 2 ways. Practice with this one. It's not very often you need to sew around a corner of that shape, but it can be quite difficult. So what we need to do is to straighten this. Should have used a coloured fabric really, shouldn't I? So I'll need that to make a straight line. And you can see what the problem's going to be already. I've got a little crease there. But let's see what happens. So I'm sewing just up to the edge. I'm not trimming anything away here. Let's fold this around to make a straight line. And then sew. And again, you're not going to get a perfect 90-degree angle. That's not so bad. I wasn't expecting that. Look, I've impressed myself. You could get a little pleat in the corner there, which can be manipulated if you need to. But the other little trick if you can't get that perfect, is to make a little snip just in the corner there. So just a little V shape in there, and that'll help with the going around the corner bit. So again, fold that until you've got that in a straight line. And that just makes it a little bit neater. So again, not very often you'll need to do that, but it's nice to know how, isn't it? Sewing around curves is easy when you've got the right tools. Going around a convex curve is really easy. Just take it easy, take it slowly. So just feed your fabric through. And I'm watching where it goes into the blade here. Just to keep that nice and even. So I'm trying not to cut very much off. And just feed it around the circle. So that's literally the amount of fabric I've cut away. So that's quite easy. And then your concave is a little bit more tricky because I need to make that straight, just like I did with the corner. So this time when I'm feeding it in, I'm bending the fabric away from the blade. This is going to get all gathered up, that's fine. It's this bit that we're concentrating on. Again, I'm trying not to cut too much fabric away and just take it slowly. So there you've got your curves. So it's practice. Have a play with the different tension settings if you need to. Have a play with the different types of fabric as well. This is ideal for stretch fabric. Stretch fabric is really popular at the moment because it's so easy to work with. The majority of the time you're not going to be putting zips and darts and things like that in. There's no fasteners, there's no closures. So it makes it a very popular fabric, particularly for beginners. But your overlocking stitch is a stretch stitch. So again, let's just stitch some off and then I'll show you some effects that you can create. So that's how we're looking, and that is going to have plenty of give in it. So perfect for this fabric. But you can create some decorative effects as well. So I'm going to take out my left needle. I'm going to show you a rolled hem and how you do that. And then we're going to play with our differential. Not all overlockers have a differential, this one does. So cutting off that, chain it off until the white thread's gone. And that's gone now. Then I will need a tiny screwdriver, which you get in the box as well. And there is even a needle holder in here, which goes around the edge of your needle. I'm just going to switch this off while I do this. So underneath the needle. And that's going to cup it so it doesn't drop inside my machine when I'm taking it out. So let's unscrew this until the needle drops out. Again, this is a very strange position to be doing this in, but I really want to see what I'm doing. Are you coming out? Yes. Come on. Now, woohoo, with the needle, I'm going to stick that in my thread so I know exactly where it is. And tighten up that screw again because the vibration of the machine could shake the screw out, and we don't want to lose that because you don't get spares. So let's just screw that back up again. Like so. Oh, come on. That's it. That's my eyesight not being good again. So that's all ready to go with 3 threads. So let me show you what that looks like first of all. I'll switch it on. So that's that. So you can see I've got a narrower stitch. That was the 4 thread. And that was the 3 thread, so that's the first difference. Maybe I want that a little bit closer together. I can adjust the dial at the side to make the stitches tighter together. I can do that even more. And even more. So again, play with these. Just have a play and see what's going to work for you. So there. I forgot to mention, you get a little bin that goes on the side here to collect all the threads. That just sits underneath your machine like so. I just took it off so that you could see me threading it. So, okay. So we're going to have a play because I want to make a rolled hem. So, a few things that we need to do. Remember on the inside here there was an R and an S button. I'm going to flick that over to R. There's a dial at the side here that I'm going to turn around to R for rolled hem there. I'm going to increase that back to normal with that one. And then, normally with a rolled hem, you take the blade away. Don't need to on this machine. And you'll need to increase the tensions on your loopers. There's an easy way of doing that on this machine. There's a button on the front here that is standard or tight. I'm just going to make it tight. So I'm ready to go. So again, do your test piece first of all. So what this is doing now is rolling over, sorry I missed a bit there, rolling over the very edge of the fabric, snipping away the loose bits of, just these little bits of thread that are coming away, and it's making a very small, very tight stitch. So we've got that finish. And that's a really nice stitch for very fine fabrics, for gauzes and organzas, and or if you just don't want to see the stitch. Because if you imagine even with a rolled hem foot in your sewing machine, you're going to be rolling that over and then there'll be a top stitch. So this is a much neater way of doing it. You can actually buy variegated thread, which has a lovely effect to it. Or if you've got the same colour thread as your fabric, that's not going to stand out very much at all. But I did say we're going to play with our differentials. So remember to put this back onto standard and that back onto standard. And we'll put the stitch length back onto a normal. There's two dials on the side. Let me show you. Here. So this is your stitch length. This is your differential. So the differential is where the feed dogs are. So you've got feed dogs just like you have on a sewing machine, but on here you have two sets. So for the most part, they're both feeding the fabric through at the same rate. And that's fine. That should give you a nice flat stitch. If your fabric starts to wave a little bit, that's not a tension thing, that's a differential thing. And you can adjust the speed at which those feed dogs draw the fabric through individually so it'll flatten out your fabric. So if you imagine your front feed dogs are going quicker than your back feed dogs, it's going to push more fabric underneath the needle, but it's not going to come out the back at the same speed. So you're going to gather things up. It's not really a gathering stitch. You won't get a lovely, tiered gather or anything, but it will gather slightly. But on the opposite extreme, if you've got the back feed dog that's feeding it through or pulling it through quicker than the front one's going to let it, you'll have a nice wavy effect, so it stretches it out. So you can have a play. All of this is in the instruction manual, by the way, so don't take too much notice of what I'm saying here. So I'm going to alter the differential down so it's on its lowest, and I'm going to stretch it as well just for an extra effect. So I'm pulling from the front and I'm pulling from the back, and you can probably see that waving already. I'm not damaging the machine or anything by pulling the fabric, I'm just stretching it out of the way. And that's the effect that you have. So that's a nice finish around maybe pyjamas or arms and legs and things like that. My daughter made a pair of pyjamas for her daughter the other day and finished off all of the edges like that, and it looked really pretty, particularly on jersey fabric. And then on the opposite extreme, let's whack that differential right up So now I've got the front feed dogs pushing the fabric through quicker than the back ones are pulling it out. And that will create a little gather. So again, it's not a frill, but it is a little bit of a gather. The main reason, I think, for having the differential like that isn't necessarily to create the effect, it's to help to keep your stitches sitting flat. So depending on your fabric or how many layers of fabric you're sewing through, you can adjust it a little bit so you've got that absolutely perfect stitch. So you can see, no matter what you're making, have a play with those stitches first of all, and have a play with the machine. There's so much you can do with this, and so many different effects. But the thing that I love about it the most is the speed. It's so quick. So if you've got larger items, maybe a curtain making, or certainly if you're dressmaking, you can use this as the seam. But remember, this isn't going to have the same seam allowance as most dressmaking patterns. Out you come. So that is strong enough to be a seam. You could do a shorter stitch on that to make it even stronger if you wish. The 4 thread is going to be stronger than the 3 thread if you're making something that's got to be really durable. But if you have 5/8 of an inch seam allowance, remember this is going to be shorter. So it's not just for finishing the seams, you can actually use this as the seam as well, and that's going to make your sewing so much quicker. So particularly on larger items. That's my tweezers gone. I'll pick those up later. So let's put this other needle back in again. I use mine, to be honest, with the 3 threads for the majority of my work because it's more economical, because you're basically saving 25% on your thread, obviously, if you're not using one of them. But just to show you how, again, just like with domestic sewing machine needles, it's got a flat back to it. Switch that off for safety. That goes up inside here. You can use your needle holder. And remember, your needles will be at different heights. Oh, in you go there. And it's got an L and an R on there, so you know which needle is which. This is so simple to do at home. So you go back in there. I'm going to have to turn it round to me, I'm afraid. I can't see from there. Oh, I've had a message from Laureen. Hi, Laureen. Thanks for the tips on overlocking. She found them very helpful. Thank you. Oh, and thanks to all of us for keeping going through these difficult times. That is so appreciated. Thank you. We are doing our best. We've still got the warehouse people there, keeping their distances, minimal amount of staff in the building. It's quite eerie, really. But yeah, we're doing our best. And I'm glad you're there with us as well. And I'm hearing that we had so many new customers this morning. So welcome along if you're new to Sewing Street. We're all about the sewing. It's all we do. Sewing projects, sewing books, sewing fabrics, sewing machines, demonstrations, threading needles. May take a while. Let's just move you out the way. The first overlocker I ever had, I had to go on a course to learn how to use it. And the majority of it was what happens inside here. And it was, I wouldn't say it was scary, but it was a bit of a pain. Because if you don't have an air threader, all of these loopers that the air threader automatically threads for you had to do with tweezers. And this one particularly, there's a part underneath there that you need to thread, and you can't even see the thing. So just trying to get tweezers inside there and guess where you're going, that was a little bit of a nightmare. But with your air threader, you can literally thread this up in seconds. So you'll find it a really quick machine. It'll finish off your seams to a professional standard. if you're wearing something that's shop bought at the moment, whether that's you know, a jumper, a t-shirt, you're in your leisure wear, you're in a pair of pajamas or a nightie, if you have a look at the seams on the inside, you don't see raw edges, you see overlocked edges because it's professional, and it allows the seam to last longer. It makes it a stronger seam. So if you're making to sell or if you're making to gift, no matter what it is, if it's a cushion cover, you will see the seams finished professionally on the inside. It also means that your seams are going to last longer because they'll be stronger. So on things like children's clothing that are going to be washed more regularly maybe than most, they're not going to fray. The speed of the machine for me, it does it, particularly if making a dress. That's actually some fabric from a dress that I made last week, which was a batwing dress. So to sew these big long seams so quickly and so accurately is an absolute pleasure. But it's the finish again that you're going to get. So any of those reasons why you've been thinking in the past, I don't think that's for me. There's just too much going on there. I wouldn't be able to thread it and I wouldn't be bothered. So just cleaning away a bit of the lint there. Elna have taken all of that out of the equation by making this so very, very simple to sew with. And you can sew onto many different types of fabric. So denim. You can finish off the inside of that denim skirt or that denim jacket that you're making using your overlocker. You can use them as decorative stitches. It could be just making a scarf or sewing around napkins or something like that. Or of course it can be the larger items. Let's just have a play with some of these stitches, see what happens when we tighten that a bit. Oh, I like that, I'm going to go tighter. So as a decorative stitch there, I've got a really solid edge. But look how quickly we're going here as well. You're probably sewing at about 1100, 1200 stitches a minute, which is so fast. But that's just shortening the length of the stitch. So you can adjust the width. That's as if it was stitching on standard, and just by tightening up the stitch, I've got a completely different look. And remember, again, I could use the differential to pull that out a little bit on stretch fabric, so that would make a really nice decorative finish. So that was the rolled hem from previous. That's the kind of difference of the different stitches that you're going to be able to stitch. And I've chopped that one off, but that's your 3-thread stitch as well. So that's very basic what the difference is there as well. Wow, I'm just hearing that it's not 1100 stitches a minute, it's up to 1300 stitches a minute. That's an incredible speed. Loads of fun. Let's have a go with that differential again. The differential is the one in the middle. I'm going to go quite tight and go down for the wave. So I'm going down to 0.5 on the side. I need to increase the length a little, that's it. A little bit too solid. I'm just adjusting the stitch length while I'm doing this, just so I can show you the difference on one big long stitch. So that's where I started. Look, that was really tight together. That would have taken an awful lot of thread and an awful lot of time, but it's worked. So then loosen the thread a little bit. I've gone a bit loopy on the top there. And I don't think that's the tension. I think it's because I'm sewing at a funny angle and I missed the edge of the fabric. And then on the longer stitches, it's actually gone a little bit more wavy on the long stitches. So have a try, have a play when you get that home. So the full instructions are included. So you've got a nice little manual there, hints and tips, troubleshooting, what the role of the different loopers is and how to change the needle. Everything's included in there. You have an accessory compartment that has spool holders if you need them. You've got cones on here as well. I don't think it comes with thread. Mine didn't, or this one didn't when I took it home. And you've got your nets as well. So if you find that your thread isn't coming off the cones very easily, then just put the net over the top, make sure the thread's coming out the top of those, and that'll help smooth it down. On mine at home, I've got some huge cones that don't quite fit on here. I can only fit 2 on because they're so big, but I sit them at the back. So as long as all of the tensions are engaged, it doesn't matter whether the threads are sitting here or sitting down there, it'll still work just as well. So if you've got any questions, where are we? We've got about 20 minutes left on the show now. So come on through to the Facebook page. There we go, it's Sewing Street TV on Facebook. and ask the question while I'm here. We will be back again with the machine, but if there's anything that's concerning you right now, then come and let me know. Jenny says, it's me again. Here she is again. Bought some of that Georgette fabric the other week and need some inspiration of what to make, what stitch to use and what needle, please. Thank you very much. We have got Georgette fabric on the show today, actually. Do you want to have a look? I wouldn't change your needle to start with. And just a straight stitch. You need an overlock, Jen. Because with these, that's what you're getting with your 1/2 metre. If you overlock all around the edge, you've got a scarf. And that's really easy. And this is a lovely summer scarf, and the colours are gorgeous as well. If you're sewing Georgette, or if you're hemming Georgette, used a rolled hem on your sewing machine, a rolled hem foot, and that'll give you that tiny little hem. You'll find if you're trying to hem this by folding over once and then folding over again, it doesn't stretch, but it's got a loose weave, so it moves. So you could quite easily find as you're doing this and then you're doing that and then you're trying to sew along, that it's not going to be very easy to do. So rolled hem foot on your sewing machine will take that into account, and it'll give you a hem of about that big, of about a millimetre, a couple of millimetres or 1/8 of an inch, that kind of thing. But if you've got an overlocker, no, just use the rolled hem, and then you get that tiny, what did I do with it? You get a hem of that kind of size, which is perfect on this fabric because you want it to drape still. That's the beauty of it, is that it's got that wonderful fold. This is £4.99 for 1/2 metre. If you ordered more than one, it does come on one piece. So this would make a beautiful summer skirt. It is Georgette and it's sheer, so you're going to need to put a lining or wear an underskirt. And the same if you're making a blouse out of it. I'd leave the sleeves sheer and just put a lining in the bodice, or wear a vest. Sexy. Otherwise you're going to see through it, or maybe you're just really daring. So that's the yellow. Isn't it the colour of sunshine? I think that's such a pretty colour. Ochre, we're calling that one, but it looks like daffodil yellow to me. Daffodils are disappearing now, aren't they? I think they've just about had their time. They're outside our house anyway. There we go. We do have a coral version as well, which is this one. Equally as pretty. Very flattering on the skin tone, apparently. And it's only £4.99 again. What are you going to make? I think it's just perfect for this weather, isn't it? Well, I'm hoping it's this weather. It wasn't too good yesterday. We had rain most of the day. I don't know what it's like where you are, but apparently we're going to have a nice sunny day today. But it was rather early when I came in this morning, so I didn't really see much of the sunshine. I just left home really early. Got here really early today. I don't know why. There we go. Oh, now I've got some patterns for you. So again, if you're still stuck for ideas and inspiration, we have these. So this is the Thurza pattern. Now this has been on one of the shows right back at the beginning when we first started, which I've been here for about 6 weeks now, something like that. But one of the first ever shows was the Thurza dress. So if you have a look on YouTube, we upload all of our shows onto YouTube on a daily basis. So you'll be able to find any of the shows from previous. Sorry, funny what you can see on the telly. I've covered in threads. So this was demonstrated. So if you go back to one of the very early shows, about 6 weeks ago or something like that, or just type Thurza into the search engine, there will be a demonstration on how to make this. It's a tunic that can be lengthened into a dress. So it's really versatile. So I would suggest that you trace off the pattern first of all, so you don't have to cut it all up, and then you can make it up in different sizes and different lengths as well to create different looks. So that's just £15.99. Size-wise, we have on the bust from 32 on the small to the largest is 42 inches. So waist, that's 30 on the smallest up to 37 inches on the largest size. Or look for Angela Presley. That's one of her patterns. So if you put that name into YouTube, it should come up with the with the show. As it will if you put Laura from So Different, because she was on with these patterns right at the beginning again. So this is the colour block dress, which Laura was making. I think she was making it up in the linens on the day, but a denim would be nice. Oh, I'll tell you what would be nice for this one. That's that canvas that we had on the show the other day. That would be perfect for this dress. So £16.99 for your pattern. We've got sizes 8 to 26. So the size 8 will be 33 inches on the bust, and the 26 is 50¼ inches. Your hips from 36 through to 52, and you've got all sizes in between there as well. And finally, pattern-wise, we have the long line jacket. That would be nice in the canvas. Or in the denim, we've got the different coloured denims on here as well. That would work really well. And that, again, £16.99, just to show you a different option there on the back. So different colourways. But a perfect weight of jacket for the summertime. Again, sizes 8 to 26, so bust size from 33 through to 50¼ inches. And that's £16.99. So we've got fabrics on the show for you as well. I want to show you the denim. Got 3 colours. So for the colour block dress, that would work really well together. Or I was saying to you before when I brought you this fabric, one of my first patchwork projects was tumbling blocks in 3 different coloured denims, and I covered a footstool in it, and it worked really well, it looked really nice. Wear a thimble though, it's a devil to sew when you're doing a lot of it by hand. This is £4.99. It's 1/2 metre in length, and that's the light blue. Let me just show you the width of this as well. Denim normally comes up quite wide. Yep, I would say that's 140 centimetres wide. But it's nice and soft, so it's not a stiff, heavy denim. It is a dressmaking kind of weight of denim, so it's very wearable. So maybe you're going to make a denim skirt for the summertime, a pair of crop trousers. It'd be useful, a pair of shorts. And it never dates, does it, denim? So that's the light blue. Then we have the medium. That's my favourite one. And that's really classic. That would make a nice jacket, wouldn't it? A jacket or a coat. And £4.99 for 1/2 metre is such a good price. If you ordered more than one, they come all joined up. So if you wanted to make a larger project, or if you are covering chairs or something like that and you needed more, then you've got more all in one long piece. And then finally, you've got your dark denim. This is a little bit heavier in weight because of the dyes. So it's a little bit stiffer. So I wouldn't think dress with this, but certainly coats, certainly trousers, certainly skirts. And of course, bag making with any of these, they make fabulous bags. Oh, and go for your toucan lining. Imagine a bag with a lining like that. So £4.99, again for 1/2 metre. If you want more than that, they'd come all joined up together. This is navy lurex. Lurex I normally think of as quite scratchy. And this isn't at all scratchy. It's really soft. Now you can imagine what that feels like, can't you? That's the inside, and it's all brushed. So it's incredibly soft and fleecy. On the outside, that's your lurex, but it's not scratchy at all. And of course, it's a fleece, so it's stretchy as well. So look, it's a jersey, so it stretches as well because it's a knitted fabric. Another benefit from knitted fabrics is they don't fray. They should do when you think about it, because it's knitted. You know, if I make a hole in my jumper, then it'd run like mad. But that's what makes these easy to work with. So you don't have to finish the seams. But again, if you have an overlocker, you're going to find making those seams so much easier because the stitch is automatically a stretch stitch. So you could have a rather special hoodie or a comfortable pair of lounge pants. I think we're all a bit like that now, aren't we? It's nice not having to put makeup on in the morning. Okay, so again, that's 1/2 metre for £7.99. I'm getting to the stage where I need my daughter to cut my hair, though. It's good. But hair always grows long when you can't get to the hairdresser, doesn't it? Okay, the toucans that I mentioned earlier on, we've got 2 colourways here. Again, it's 1/2 metre. This is a Rose and Hubble poplin. It's a nice weight for a poplin, to be honest. There we go. So if you wanted to make a shirt out of it, you're going to need more than a half a metre. Then again, it comes all joined up if you ordered more than one. So it's 100% cotton. I'm thinking, oh, beach bags, summer outfits. A shirt would be amazing in that, wouldn't it? Or blouse. It's fun, it's bright. Cheese plants and rubber plants. That's very 1970s, wasn't it? We used to have a huge cheese plant at the top of the stairs and rubber plants, and we used to clean them with milk, if I remember rightly. I'm sure we used to do that, bizarre. And yuccas. I think you need to be a certain age to know what I'm talking about there. This is the turquoise option. Oh, that looks like the sea, doesn't it? I wish. Mind it is the colour of the sky that we've been seeing recently. So toucan en bleu for £4.99 again for half a metre. Now, if you've seen anything that you'd like to order, you can go to our website, which is sewingstreet.com, or you can order on the phone lines. We've got a UK-based call centre, which is 0800 001 4433. We've got some birds under here, haven't we? There we go. So we have birds on navy. So I'll put that with a red, I think. Have a nautical kind of look. This is half a metre again, 100% cotton, for your £4.99. And then we have birds on royal. That doesn't make a nice little girl's dress. Or a little boy's shirt. Or a little boy's dress. You know, anything goes these days, doesn't it? And then finally, you have the birds on silver. Nice quality again, it's 100% cotton. I'm going to show you the size of this. So that's what you're getting. So it's 112 centimetres wide. It's a nice weight to this one as well. This isn't going to be sheer and see-through if you wanted to make a dress or a blouse out of that. Okay, and they're £4.99. We also have some linens for you. I'll just tidy these up. So 2 colour choices in your linen, and these are stonewash linen, so they are very soft and they don't tend to crease as much. I've got 3 colours. There's lots of texture with these as well. But you know, with linen, that's kind of what puts me off. I love the natural feel of linen and how cool it is in the summer and how cool it actually looks. I'm not a fan of the creasing, but this one, it doesn't crumple and crease anywhere near a regular linen, probably something to do with it being stonewashed. But look at the texture on there as well. It makes it that a little bit different. So you've still got the traditional slub that you expect to see on linen, but it's almost like got a herringbone weave to it as well, which is really unusual, but it gives it a nice drape. So if you're dressmaking or you're going to make maybe the coat from So Different, that would be an ideal fabric for you to use. So this is the stone. £5.99 is again for half a metre. Or you can go for the denim, and I'm just going to open this up because I've got a feeling this is wider. 140 wide, this one. So lovely denim blue. But my favourite one is the lilac. I just think it's a really pretty colour. Something a little bit different, isn't it? And again, that's £5.99. That's a good price. £5.99 for half a metre. So it's soft, it's got a really nice drape, doesn't crease too easily, but you've got all of the benefits of linen with it being natural and breathable and wickable and comfortable, but without the ironing that you'd normally have. So that's £5.99. You have any more messages coming through? Are we all busy this morning? I haven't had many messages today. Getting loads over the last few days. Oh, we've got some Liberty fabrics as well. There we go. So this is the Arley Gardens flower fabrics. We bring you some lovely fabrics. We had Moda earlier on, we had Tilda in the last hour, and now we've got Liberty. We're very upmarket with our fabrics, you know. So there's £7.49, again, that's for half a metre, but by the half metre means that you will get, look at me covered in thread again. Keep seeing these. Not to worry. It's just what happens, isn't it? Really dainty Dixie little flowers. These are perfect for English paper piecing. But Liberty, again, you've got the quality of the fabric there. It feels really nice. It's lovely to work with. And it's got a really nice sheen to it as well. That's just £7.95. Remember, we've got £3.95 postage all day. Oh, sorry, £7.49. So if you've already ordered something from this morning, so I'd like that, but I don't want to pay another £3.95 postage, we're not going to charge you another £3.95 postage. We process all of the orders at midnight tonight, so anything that you order throughout the whole course of the day all goes under one postage. Even if you bought something and checked out your basket, paid for it, when you come back again, we know that it's you, so we're not going to charge you the postage. We're very nice people at Sewing Street, you know. More Liberty fabrics here for your £7.49. So this is the Premier Posy in pink. Again, you've got little ditzy fabrics, different shades of pinks, a little bit of ochre with a black dot in the background there as well. And this is half a metre wide, half a metre in length, 112 centimetres in width. At just £7.49, what are you going to make? Oh, it could be dressmaking, it could be quilting, it could be homewares, it could be bag making. Wouldn't use it for lining. I want to see that. Really, really deep navy in the background of this one with some gorgeous little pink and blue flowers. Again at £7.49, and you've got all of that quality. So it's half a metre in length, all joined up together if you ordered more than one. So you could make something quite substantial out of this. What about a nice floaty skirt with an elasticated waist? With pockets. I like a skirt with pockets, personally, you know. So again, at £7.49. And then this is lovely. I really like greys. Bouquet in pink, this one. So again, on the grey background. And £7.49 your price there. Beautiful sprays of flowers. Now, I did mention that first thing this morning in the 8 o'clock show, we brought you Moda fabrics. We've got 3 bundles for you. Brand new today. Should we go for the light blue to start with? Move those out of the way, that'll work better. Okay. All of these, so you've got 8 pieces all together for £59.49. Love the colours there as well. So you've got, it's set in pale blue. I think it's more of a vintage kind of look, almost like a touch of the teals with this one. So you've got the sprigs, tiny little detail on here. They're the same kind of colourway throughout all of the 3 bundles, so you could mix and match them together. There's a larger print. That one's got musical notes and script, as has this one in the background. You can see all of these on the website, by the way, so I'm flicking through quite quickly now. You can either wait until we are on YouTube later on this afternoon and have a look in detail at all of the fabrics, or you can just go on the website and take a look there. So that's the light blue at £59.49. We have the navy, 9 pieces in this collection. So some of the same prints, but look so different in different colourway. So that, all of those. So I'm flicking through quite quickly because we're almost out of time. And there you go. Da, da, da. And, oh, thank you, Joanne, for your message. I'll have a read shortly. So those all on the very deep navy background. So 9 pieces, 4.5 metres in total. And then finally it's the silver, which is all of these. Again, you can see how the colours go through each one of the collections. So they all mix. That lemon colour, really pretty, goes so well with grey. the larger print, the rusty colours, rich creams, and the greys, sprigs, rosebuds, and lattice. So a good mixture when you use them all together. And they are available individually as well. So if there's just one of these that's caught your eye, if you have a look on sewingstreet.com, you can have a look at all the individual pieces and then maybe put your own bundles together because they mix and match really well. So you could literally dive into any of these, and so that one would go really well with that one, but they're from completely different bundles, but they do work together really well. Should we take a look at what's coming up tomorrow? You've got Vicky with you tomorrow for the day, and she has more fabrics coming up at 8 o'clock in the morning. Tools and Storage is at 9 o'clock tomorrow, and then Liberty of London Fabric Collections is at 10 o'clock. I shall see you again on Tuesday, bright and early. And do have a think about any questions that you have for sewing surgery as well. That's going to be on Monday the 4th of May. So that's a show where I answer your questions. So if you think, I want to have another look at that overlocker, I didn't quite understand how to do this, that or the other. If you have a look on our Facebook page on Sewing Street, then you can leave your messages there, you can leave your questions there, and there'll be more details, I'm sure, coming up in the break. So I shall see you again on Tuesday. Enjoy the rest of your day.